and welcome back to the world of Tumarta, where, as always, it was a Tuesday. It was a Tuesday, our live streamed D&D experiment, where a table full of Dungeon Masters is going to sit down and tell a story where we each take a turn, or more than one, behind the DM screen. I'm Peter, my pronouns are he, him, and I am taking first crack at Dungeon Master.
Hi, my name is Grace. My pronouns are she, her. I play Honey Smith, also she, her pronouns. And she is a paladin. I don't ever want to say the race because I'm always going to fuck up how to say it. So Azamir. I don't know. Anyway.
Hi, I'm Roderick. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be playing Telavir, the chaotic mess of a rogue that you'll learn more about later.
I'm Gwen, they, them. I play Ashkar, the half-orc artificer, also they, them.
I'm Mercury, pronouns are any. I'm playing Thistle, the half-elf monk, who like fight. Boom, boom. Lawful, neutral. Boom, boom.
Alright, excitingly, we do actually have an announcement today, so Gwen, if you'll take that away.
Yeah, so as part of the setup for this game, we did a Session 0-esque thing, where we did a,
World building.
Yeah, I was looking for an improv world building game together, and in the process of it, we came up with a lot of lore for the town where we're starting our campaign, and there's a lot there, and we've touched on a lot of it in the first two sessions, and we're only going to touch on more. And we realize that the rest of our viewers might be a little confused, so we are currently in the process of putting together a summary video of that lore and the timeline that we created for before the campaign starts. And we will have that out for you in the next couple sessions.
Yep.
So it won't be very long. It'll just give you a little bit of background for some of the stranger aspects of the world we're in right now.
Alright. So, just in case you're a new viewer, Hi, welcome. A quick summary of what's happened so far in our campaign. The party is sort of snow-locked in the mountain town of Rhyme. It's winter, and everybody's sort of stuck here. They were hanging out in a bar, as D&D parties are wont to do, and they decided to go check out these rumors that this gnome was talking about with lights glinting off the top of the mountain. Talked to the gnome. He was very reliable narrator of what was going on, so they decided that they needed to go check it out for themselves. They went up into the woods, climbing the mountain at night in deep snowfall, encountered some strange creatures with large canine bodies and human-like heads, who spoke to them about their mistress, who is queen of the domain there, and then discovered a giant crystalline matrix extending to where the mountain used to be. They have since come back down into town, where they, had some drinks, got some food, and said we should probably tell some people about what's going on up there, because they let off a bit of a light show and heard that the townfolk were a little bit worried about it, and then weren't particularly disciplined in asking who they should get, and the innkeeper, one Farnet Fullblinger,
Farnet,
decided to send some runners out to everybody, and has planned an emergency town council, and has politely requested that the other people in the tavern leave for the time being, and that you all take your seats, and he'll bring you another round on the house. Some of you may belatedly remember that he is a member of the town council. And, you guys, have a few minutes to yourselves now to figure out what you're going to say, what you're going to do, and at this point, I would like to bring out a very good friend of mine.
oh boy.
This is the Hourglass of Doom.
Which
Shouldn't there be more skulls or something?
doesn't
No.
show up on the table at all. I really need to get the exposure down on that camera.
So, is it,
I think it's
On your
just
laptop is the best place for
right
it.
here?
We'll find
Alright. This is a 15-minute hourglass. Anytime I bring it out, it means something's gonna happen in 15 minutes.
I can't see shit.
That's fine. I mean, I can... Is it over here better, where the audience and you can see it?
Can the audience see it there? I would like to know if time is passing.
Sure. We'll keep
I
you praised.
mean... This looks decent. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna flip it over. Enjoy.
So, honey, I feel like you're the most socially adept person at this. Well, you know what? Sorry. You know what? I do feel bad. You are socially adept. I
I'm
feel
just
like
an idiot.
we need some specific niceties for this particular conversation about how things are going and, you know, accurately wagering potential threats and also presenting those potential threats and also the non-threats, like the...
That's fair.
So you're saying you'd like me to be the primary speaker?
Yes! I'm really thinking that would be the best option, yes.
Alright, that does put me in a bit of a pickle, because I really should speak to my superiors first before I talk to literally anybody else.
Is there any chance your superiors are going to be one of the people called?
That's a real good question. I don't think we specifically asked for them.
I thought it did, actually.
You thought you did ask?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Alright, well, if they're there, then that should be okay, but also, like, protocol would have been, I talk to them first before I tell literally any other person on the planet.
That's
Sorry about
unfortunate.
that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Televier, your passive perception is enough for you to hear that the runners and one of the waitresses were sent to gather the town council, get a representative from both churches, and get someone from the college.
It also,
But not.
Both churches.
Okay.
Both churches.
I will also say, well, let's just hope the right person shows up. Let's call that. So yeah, so what exactly is it that y'all want me to say?
Well, the crystal thing exists, and it's not terrible, and it's quite pretty, and also don't climb it right before sunrise.
Yep.
Or moonset, depending.
If we tell that to the crystal people, they will probably try to claim it for themselves. Just putting that out there. You should see the mess over in the crystal caverns right now.
I feel like, however, not. I think that ship has sailed. I think we're telling everybody, so they all can duke that out for themselves, politically speaking. Like, at this point, I don't know if there's much we can do. I'll be honest, that stuff's all real cool and very spiritual, and I have some meditating and some thinking I want to do on it, totally independent of other stuff. But I'm actually more concerned with conveying all the stuff about the weird dogs and the mistress stuff to the council.
That's the active threat, I believe.
So
Yes.
2 birds, 1 stone, and hear me out here. 2 birds, 1 stone. We tell them about the crystal thing, and then also let them know that there's a bunch of weird dogs between here and there. Which means that if the crystal people want to deal with it, this problem has to be dealt with first. They've been shown that they can put aside their differences in order to do stuff.
They're not... I think the only reason really we ran into the dogs is that we got lost.
Yeah, I think there's a way to get there without it, and but
Dogs first.
that's kind of my inclination too.
Honestly,
Or Yeth is really what
I
they're
never
called.
said
Yeah.
what we ran into, so we could probably just leave it at the dogs if we wanted to.
I think
No-
Honey
no,
wishes
'cause they
to
know
be
about the light show.
honest.
Yes, but I never said that we knew anything about
I will also say that we got smart people here who like are part of the college and stuff.
I'm just
So if I say
feeling
the
that
word
as an
yes, like people might actually know what to do. So
I I think there are going to be questions about the light show and the fact that we were on the mountain fighting
Something.
dogmen faces.
Much as I don't really want to get into it, I think we cause more problems if we lie.
Yes,
I do
agree.
Just presenting an option.
I do think we need to be clear that like the fight with the Yeth and everything was one separate event and had almost nothing to do with the light show that they saw. The light show was all us
That's
trying
why I
out
think
what's
we
really
should
cool.
say it first because it's not an issue. It will be made an issue when the crystal people do whatever they're going to do, but it's not an active issue.
I think we start with the dogs. So if the Crystal Mountain becomes an argument, we can leave.
That is an excellent point. I was just sort of thinking we breeze over that part and be like, but then, get this. No, I'm actually on board with
No,
Ashkar now.
I think that Ashkar's right. There is going to be no breezing over anything to do with the crystals in this town.
You might say, while on our way to investigate something on the mountain, we encountered blah. And then get into the crystals later. But
What are the chances they're going to want to question us for more detail about the... You know what? I was only like 2 feet out there. You're really the best person to talk about the crystals, aren't you? You were just horns deep in there.
Quick question.
Ashkar's just sharpening their chisel, putting an edge back on it.
You acquired a small fragment of crystal off of the structure.
It's still resonating.
I don't remember. Does the rest of the party know about that?
yeah, I believe you showed
Yes.
it to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was compared to another piece of crystal that disappeared.
I would like to hold on not mentioning the piece of crystal that I have
The what?
in this meeting. Thank you.
You might want to divert any questions about that away from me. Just saying.
Fair.
Just take them away.
I will say that there are some specific conversations I want to have with the crystal people, where it's just crystal people, and there are conversations I need to have, obviously, with my people.
So they are known as Gemborn.
Gemborn. I'd like to keep that part of the conversation to holy people for the moment.
I want nothing to do with that.
So,
Likewise.
Your ball game.
thank you. I appreciate y'all's support.
Yes,
By just
definitely
being
very
like,
supportive,
no.
very throwy to the wind, but supportive.
Well, you're not in my way, so then
It's fair. It's fair.
you have my back.
I'm really glad you don't have the if you're not with me, you're against me mindset. I really appreciate your sort of laissez-faire.
I mean, if you attack me, I'm gonna hit you back, but
I don't think that's what that saying means, but cool. Not planning on it.
excellent. Is there anything else that we feel like needs to be covered, or that we would prefer not to be mentioned?
Yes. What drinks do people want?
Still
Their strongest whiskey, if I'm gonna be talking.
That sounds like a good
I mean, I'm just going to continue with cider.
I'm gonna go back over to.
Do you need the name again?
I have it written down. I'm just not
It's
sure about
Farnet
pronouncing.
Fullbringer.
Farnet.
Glinger.
Fullbringer.
Blinger.
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 Flinger. Fling bling.
FARNITFULBLINGR. 2 names.
You just spelled that and I missed it entirely.
That's okay. I can go over that when you guys aren't on a timer.
Right now, he's just Farnet Blinger.
I guess my question is,
FUL.
what
part of that.
we should keep our story as like clean as possible. So, what details are important about the dog-faced men creatures floating on the snow?
Well,
the
there were
everything about it.
There were
Oh,
three
yeah.
of them. They were clearly able to be possessed by whatever the leader is. We should repeat everything that the leader said to us about how it already owns the forest, which is, not great.
Pretty presumptuous.
The fact that there are 3 of them is not that important. Yet always do packs.
That's fair. I think
There are at least 3. No, there are less now.
The important thing about them is that they felt more like from the shadow plane than from the Feywild. That was strange. And they always have a master. But the master only functions if it's on the same plane as them. So somewhere in that forest.
Is a big
Does it have to be in the forest? Like, how close is the range of this?
I don't know, but
You
they
do know
mentioned.
the same plane.
Oh no!
But they mentioned the forest specifically.
And the
It's
queen
logical.
of said forest. So
Fair,
it's
so she's probably
within
in
there
there
somewhere.
or nearby.
Alright, well,
Well,
I think that's about it. Your whiskey.
defenses. They don't like light.
yeah, no.
I mean, if we're going to be telling them about this with the idea that they should handle the problem, we should probably tell them how we handled the small problem.
Did we kill any of them, or did they just run away?
Two
We
of them.
whooped 2 of them. We whooped
Okay.
2 of them real
The fact
good.
that one escaped is actually kind of important.
Yeah, that is actually important.
Light sensitive. They only attacked us after you drew your sword. That is also an important note to make.
That could have been them playing.
Just still an important note to make, because they changed in their behavior at that point. They were ominous and threatening, as if they were trying to goad us into fighting.
They were clearly trying to pincer around us.
Yes.
But they wouldn't straight out attack until after weapons were drawn. Fake creatures are weird, trust me, I know. But, that was the turning moment.
I'll also say that they, the people that they managed to fratten were the ones they continued to attack afterwards, too.
Oh, yes.
Do I have to admit that I got scared?
No, I will simply
well.
say some members of the party
They have
will
a
leave
fear
it
effect.
that.
They have a fear effect, I think, yeah.
If
I
you,
have a
if you
fear
want to
effect.
throw me under the wagon,
I was kidding!
Just
No,
don't-
no, it's
just
fine.
tell. I'll
it's
just
fine.
nod. I'll just nod and agree. I won't even do anything. I'll just nod.
Damn, you took
I
my
will
head
say
off. I'll
that
fucking go into
There
that.
was a fear effect that some
Us?
folks were affected by,
Wagon.
and the ones that were affected by that were attacked more.
Immersive gameplay. Get wrecked.
It sounds like you guys might be wrapping up.
I think we're
One
I
of the
think we are.
rules about the Hourglass of Doom is you guys can always decide to end the hourglass and let me know that you guys
we
are
have
done.
to wait for the last
No,
7
we're not going to
minutes.
sit here and
Are
wait
you
for
sure?
these
Everyone
to
focus.
go.
Put it right here in the center.
Everyone
and
knows
we'll
a
watch
watched
it.
pot never boils, but a watched hourglass spins faster.
Oh my god, it's working! So you guys chat for a little bit longer, you have some more drinks, you go over a couple of other things.
You don't try to get me
Um,
alcoholic cider, right?
No.
I
I mean, you also said didn't respond, so.
Can everybody...
Oh, did you?
There's
You
one
did,
last
I
thing.
said
Can
cider.
everybody roll me a quick wisdom check? Just flat... actually, wisdom or intelligence, whichever one you
Ooh.
want.
Definitely going intelligence.
Definitely going wisdom.
Check not
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, right.
It landed on a 1, bounced off
Sorry,
the sidewall.
a wisdom check.
Did anybody get above a 15?
Just
No.
match 15.
Match 15 is fine. Both of you do remember one last piece of information, which is that when there was only 1 or 2 left, the voice that was talking through these hounds said something along the lines of, right before the last one that you killed died, do you know how long it will take me to re-bring these back through? Or to re-summon these creatures?
So we have delayed it.
You have killed 2.
There might be more.
If you guys have a little bit more time, if you wish to discuss that at all.
No, that
Ready to
just
jump
needs to
through?
be said.
Oh. Alright.
Wait, hold on. Quick question for somebody who's smarter than me. I remember hearing that sometimes things don't die if you kill them if they're not from this plane. I really needed to add that last part, otherwise I sounded dumb. But is there a chance that they're not dead, they're just gone?
Yes.
Don't like that. Not a fan. Okay, cool. Just wanted to know.
Feywild creatures are weird.
And with that, the inner door bangs open,
Mm-hmm.
and in walks Jim. Farted! I'm here for my daily. Oh, hey! Oh
Oh my god!
my gosh! Did you guys hear what happened last night? The musician ghosts were really going at it. They were
Did you see that
playing-
meteor?
No.
No.
Yes.
No, we
I
just talked
definitely-
about this.
I definitely saw the meteor landed, and you could see the ghosts playing and lifting it up into the sky.
No, it was
off
on the opposite of the mountain.
No, it was definitely on that side.
I do want to hear literally everything you have to say about this.
He starts talking about, how the musicians, this orchestra of ghosts that were off the edge of the mountain were playing these weird, dissonant, harmonious tunes and, had a weird light show that was happening last night, and that, it's definitely, a sign that trouble is not gone from the town. And as he's going, Farn's like, Jim, you gotta go. We've got things. He's coming over. We've got things happening today. You've got to leave. We're discussing the orchestra ghost, and you're gonna want me here because I'm the first one who saw it. I told these guys all about it, and then they said they were gonna go check it out, and now this is happening, and now they're probably definitely gonna check it out.
We are about to get so discredited. I don't say that loudly enough for him to hear him, but
Jim.
I want it caught by the mic.
This is all very secret. If you want to find out about it later from us, go now. We'll come by later.
And Farnick goes, I'm sorry. Did Jim tell you guys about things happening up near the top of the mountain, and you guys go up there?
Yes, but when you say it like that, it sounds like we've been bamboozled. And I do want to say we also saw the thing that was happening up there and decided to investigate it.
I mean, we all
because we're
saw.
bored.
So you know something about the lights.
Yes, that's like the whole point that we
Excellent.
want to talk to you
Jim,
about.
sit in the corner. And Jim's like, I don't want to sit in the corner. Or I'm not selling you for a week. Yes, sir. And in walks two people. You have Lightbringer Hunfrey Twiceborn, who is the truth seeker for your church and the leader of your expedition.
Something or other, Sunfrey?
Hunfrey Lightbringer,
Mhm.
Hunfrey, Hunfray, Twiceborn.
Twiceborn.
You know why his name is Twiceborn. None of the rest of you do.
I
That's
think we
excellent.
could take a guess.
He is a reformed inquisitor and torturer for the Church of Hextor, which is a very, very evil church devoted to an evil god.
What do you call him? Born again?
In certain respects, yes. Lots of scars, large, brawny dude. Because of his experiences, you know that he really, really believes in second and even third chances.
All right.
He is also very action-based and less eloquent in his
Speech.
faith.
How do I feel about him? I have two questions. One, in terms of, do I think of him as an honest man?
Yes. He, having been a very, very, very bad person for half of his life, really strives to just try and make the world better in any way that he can. He tends to see things a little bit more in black and white than I think he would like. But again, even though he sees things in black and white, he very much...
He's trying not to do any harm.
No. He very much believes that there is no depths that you can go to where you cannot come back to helping people and be redeemed in the sense of making the world better for those around you, if you choose to, and sometimes need to be given the help or the opportunity to do so, but sees things in black and white but does not see things in absolutes.
Okay.
He's also he doesn't he doesn't view his faith as better than others necessarily. He is devoted to his faith is the correct one for him, and he does try to sort of proselytize and spread that because he believes it is helpful for others as well. He is a good person.
Okay.
The other person who comes in is Refractor Urobak. Urebak. These two men are they're just very...
Sorry, Refractor Urbac, I assume this with the church, because there was no explanation.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
I'm getting there. These two men are both very large, burly, physical individuals. The refractor is a half-orc gemborn who was a former miner in town. Before, like, not of any real station or anything like that. He is now sort of on the second tier of their religious hierarchy. There is one high refractor, and then there are a couple of refractors. He is one of the refractors. Give me a... if you think you would know anything about him from your time in town, give me a... We're going to go with either an investigation or a straight charisma check.
Ooh. That's a 19.
Did you guys roll?
No, I decided
Nope.
not to. What's the name of the church again? Something other.
The Church of the Multifaceted Mother.
Multifaceted.
Church
Okay.
of the multifaceted love.
Urbach also sort of went through a bit of a... not a drastic personality transformation, but his life has very much changed since he became Gemborn. He was known as a good worker, but a very, very quiet and reserved person. Occasionally, he would write poems or do, things like that in town celebrations or things like that. But or occasionally do
Kind of a loner type, but with an artistic soul.
Not a loner, but a shy person.
A reserved.
Very large, very reserved, very shy. Charismatic, but not in a person-to-person way. And when he became Gemborn, that very much changed, and he started opening up to people more, mostly who were Gemborn, and has developed a reputation for being remarkably eloquent in speeches and in sermons. Thank you. I was missing the word. So those two walk in. They are in the middle of some conversation between themselves.
What I would like to know from my role is what kind of relationship Twiceborn has with Urbach. Is it like rivalry? Like, do they have any kind of relationship? And is it more rivalry? Is it more sort of like you're a religious type, I'm a religious type? Let's just sort of talk being religious.
They're fairly friendly now.
Okay.
But the two of them were able to talk to each other and de-escalate the initial situation, where your church came in thinking that, having heard rumors that there was some sort of unknown cult springing up in this town, and realizing that it was actually citizens of the town who were developing a new faith. And they've been talking to each other. The refractor has asked for advice about how to foster communal spirit and health of the community. And the two of them are, I don't want to say close, but have a professional relationship at this point.
Excellent.
They're talking, it seems, about what happened last night, and it seems like they've been doing so for a little bit. Farnet sees them and walks over, and not particularly quietly. If any of you care to eavesdrop, you can do so without rolling.
Cool. I want to eavesdrop.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Same.
Apparently, Refractor Urbach was in your church's encampment, asking, and they were having a conversation between the two of them, seeing if anybody had heard anything or gotten any messages from their deities or anything, because they didn't know what it was, and they were talking about trying to figure out what happened last night. So, the messenger who was sent to your group found both of them there, and they've walked over together. The other important piece of information is Farnet passes along that the group of the four of you had been on the mountain last night and investigated it, and had asked him to gather the leadership in town because you guys had some important news to share about it. Tonally, he paints you in a more positive light than negative light from all of your passive insights. And the other two take it that way.
That's running down, I just noticed.
Huh? Oh, it did flip over.
Okay.
Do you guys have anything you want to do in this moment?
No.
The two don't come over to you. They sit at another table and having conversation there.
Only thing
Do
I
you-
would have done is just a nice little.
Ah,
As I see them come in and they see they're talking, it's just hi.
they nod in acknowledgement.
Do you want to make your report while we're waiting?
That's not a bad idea.
You could just give not an elevator. You could give just a quick sort of summary.
Fantasy elevator.
At this point, that feels like given an unfair advantage. Like, because
to your
because-
church.
because the other people have already been called. It's one thing to. Part of the power is that other people didn't know a conversation was happening in the first place, and that has been lost.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Fair
I
enough.
guess we're simply waiting for the rest of the council to arrive.
How many members are on the council?
There are some counted as 4, some counted as 5.
Okay.
Interesting distinction.
How's Frederico?
No. There is a couple, Hartmut and Rose Bracebrewer, who own the general store and the brewery.
Okay.
They are ostensibly both on the council, but
Brain.
at 80% of the council meetings and things like that, only Rose shows up.
It was Hartman.
Hartmut. Hartmut.
What was the other one? Rose and
Hartmut and Rose Bracebrewer.
Grace Brewer.
Halflings?
Halflings.
Oh, you didn't say what Lightbringer Hunter Twice More, what his race was.
He's a human.
Human.
Mhm.
I only meant because you made a point of everyone else, and I was like, I don't know how to picture him in my head. Also, apparently, I can only talk like this now. Like, I can't be out of character voice, so have
Ooh.
fun, y'all.
It's really weird how she's talking about herself in the third person.
The door opens again, and Brozniak of Battlegut, a dwarf smith, walks in, going, "Farn it, this better be good, I got work to do."
Spelling, please.
Bruzneac.
Oh, I literally, anytime there were,
Yeah.
there
I'm
were
just gonna
2 letters,
phonetic it.
I picked the wrong one in that name.
You also wrote I instead of D there.
Literally.
And it's of Battlegut, spelled like it sounds, like the
Okay.
2 words put together.
What is his role?
He's a smith in town.
Okay.
Smith.
Yep, he comes in. Farn, it's like, we've got information about what happened last night. The only important thing that happened with the mountain is that it fell down. That happened off the end of the mountain. It doesn't really matter. Just settle down.
Clarity for the player. You mentioned Hartmut and Rose, but they have not arrived.
They have not
Yes.
shown up.
Cool.
I'll go over the other members of the council in a little bit.
Okay.
Anything happening? You guys still
I
sitting up?
mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Waiting.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I'm giving you opportunities to react to things as they happen.
Mhm.
And if you don't wish to take them, that's totally fine. I'm
I don't
not
know why
saying
you're
this
looking at
ominously
me.
because I was.
I eat a table. Is that what you want?
Please don't eat my table.
You
It's
have
not-
8 panels.
It is not what I
Do
want.
not miss one.
The next
You can
people
make it
to walk in are Rose walks in alongside a sort of crouched over shape with a large walking stick, who some of you might know. Just absolutely wrapped up in just so many furs. and takes about half of them off. And you see the scaly snout of Soape Stone.
Yeah, spelling.
Soapstonne. This is the sort of head of the
Dragonborn, I assume.
Karnax College of Lizardfolk.
Lizardfolk.
Karnax College of what is it? Caution, control, and creativity.
Curiosity.
That was it.
Yep.
Curiosity instead of creativity. Caution, control, and curiosity. He's the head of the soon-to-be rebuilt satellite school.
What was his
He's-
name again?
Soape Stone.
No idea.
Soapstone.
No.
Too late, I wrote it down.
Alright, you spelled it wrong.
So our notes. Heck off.
He is
No, do not eat my table, Stefan.
He is a wizard who is in charge of this. You would know that he is a diviner.
If you could do me a favor, Peter, as you're introducing these characters and describe them before you give their names,
Yes,
that would be
That would be
really
extremely
helpful.
Sure, I can start doing that. Now that I have
Gotten through everyone?
one more description and one more person.
I didn't want to break your stride.
Rose is very sort of stereotypical halfling. Sort of a little bit more rotund, a little more curvy, and but a little bit more built than you're expecting most halflings to be. A little bit more built than she really has any right to be, considering she mostly just runs a store.
She helps brew.
Yeah.
She does help brew.
Throw around those sacks of grain.
You ever restocked shelves?
Yes.
Lift a barrel, lift a barrel.
As almost everyone is here, Farnet starts having some of the runners who have come back, and he starts pulling a few tables together to create sort of a big, wide table that everyone can sit around. He starts getting drinks together. He gestures you all over.
Oh, well, too late. Never mind.
Did you have something you wanted to do before?
As they're starting to get the tables together, I go, so I actually haven't been to one of the town councils here. Is there any protocol that you guys know?
Be polite.
Be nice.
I have no idea.
I'm good at all three of those things.
Since you have designated me the speaker, don't say anything unless I definitely miss something.
Can do.
Works.
Happy to.
All right. As the tables are getting together, everybody sort of gestured over. They just take kind of random seats. A group of 4 of them on one side, sort of one of the shorter sides of it, so that there's sort of like an arc facing you. But there's no real distinction in placement as to...
Is it like a circle of tables, or is it like sort of a...
It's like a bunch of square tables that have been pushed together to form a very large square
Okay,
table.
cool.
Where there's 2 sort of long ends and 2 sort of shorter ends.
Okay.
And
they're sort of along one end. And
so yeah, it's like 2 4 4 2, and so one of the sides has been left for you guys, so that
There's 4 of us.
there's very clearly a U of
them.
the council,
Okay, cool.
and then you guys, but there is no real distinction. It's not like a tribunal
Yeah.
U where you guys are in the center and you're surrounded.
It's
It's
more
just
like we're part of the table.
you are at the table.
Yeah.
Haven't turned Bullseye and Lantern on us.
Yeah, none of that. And
There's a U of them and an underline of us.
Yes.
Yep. Everybody takes their seats.
Mhm.
Jim runs up and jumps in the empty seat right as
Oh boy. Who's Jim sitting next to?
Tannel Ungemacher walks in.
That's a new name.
You said describe them before I give the names, and I've completely forgotten.
That's
My
okay.
bad. Tannel is a very nondescript, sort of rock climber build, half elf. They are are sort of the representative for the hunters and the foresters in the town. They're definitely the person that the town goes to when there's, a bear that is sort of, threatening the town, or if some sort of monster has been seen. And the town doesn't really have, it wasn't really big enough to really need, for the most part, a sheriff or law enforcement or anything like that. And Tannel has sort of fulfilled that role, and for town defense, the hunters and foresters sort of fill that role. They're very capable individuals. In light of some of the recent things that have happened over the last year, you all would know that there has been conversation about bringing in setting up some sort of official law enforcement something, but no real decision on it has been made. For those of you who have not seen the video that we haven't made yet, over the last year there have been a number of bodies found, and no culprits have been discovered, and no real evidence has been found either. So there is some discussion about that, but that's not really why people are here.
I'd argue a body is a little bit evidence.
Okay, there's no evidence for who did,
Yes.
is what I meant.
I mean,
So,
I can make lots of jokes about corpses.
they walk in,
of course you can.
and go down, and Farnet's like, Jim, you're not supposed to... Fine. And brings over another chair and sits it kind of at the corner next to you guys.
Was he just gonna have Jim sit in the corner the whole time?
Well, Jim is not... A little bit, yeah. Jim's not reliable.
Do you remember last night's conversation?
I do, but boy, that seems real rude to tell him to stay and then be like, no, you stay in the corner the whole time.
Considering everyone else was chased out, it's actually not so bad.
I don't know why you're using character voice at me when I'm not using Thistle voice.
Oh,
No.
I fully thought you were talking
Yeah,
in
likewise.
character.
No.
Okay.
Okay, but
Fair.
Yeah.
fine, makes sense.
I'm talking to you, so...
Oh, yes, of course you are. I have a brain, I swear.
Daylight savings fucks ass.
Speaking of which, that's great news. We're not going to get into that.
Did I hit it? Yes, you did! Oh!
We've done it! 2 points.
Another episode, and it wasn't me.
Oh my god, you raised your hands in the air, and I was so hoping.
No, I was very carefully looking.
When after she hit it, I went...
I noticed that.
Well, all I have to say is it's not going to be me until I'm done DMing, so that's all I care about.
If it's you, it's impressive.
I probably could do it, but I'm sorry, I just
Nope.
saw it in the stream.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Slow motion
Anyways,
playback.
Everybody sort of settles down. You guys are all brought anything you need, not really charged anything. And everybody sort of sits down at the table, and Farney goes, all right, so we know, we asked everybody here today because of what happened at the top of the peak, the new peak last night, the light show, the dissonant sounds. Apparently Jim's story of seeing lights up there, as we all know, wasn't entirely fabricated. Sorry, bud, you know it happens. He's like, no.
I want to read Jim's novel so bad.
But after you all talked to Jim, you saw some of the lights up there yourself and went to investigate. And I'm assuming you're not talking about the big, bright lights that we saw in the late, or in the early morning. But you saw it before and went up last night.
I'm
You
sorry.
can respond. Farney
Yeah.
was talking to the four.
Yeah, I have an out of character question. I
Yeah.
don't remember a bright light.
I think it was when we hit the thing.
You were shining lights in the crystals.
That, sorry.
And
Ah,
like
yes.
refracting lights off of them, and then hit them and made this huge.
I definitely
Dissonant
remember the
noise.
Yes.
sound.
Right. Yeah. No, you were
And
literally
that was
shining
last night, so
and
I don't
refracting.
know why he's saying that or last night.
No. He's asking if you saw those lights, or if you saw lights and then went up the mountain.
To investigate.
He's wondering if you know about those lights, or if you were down in town when you saw the lights in the morning.
What time did we leave? We left about We left just after dark.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we left just...
Like an hour after dark.
Sorry.
No, that's alright. I think... So I realized that the lights are the thing that y'all saw last night, and I understand why those would be very concerning, and we do have information on those, and we're happy to share them, but I will be honest, that is not actually the thing that we're concerned about.
It's the ghosts. So there's orchestral ghosts up there that these guys all
I'm
saw.
just gonna pat
and-
Jim's head and sort of do that thing where you, like, compress them just a little
So
bit.
mad I don't have
I can
What's
make
that
an
again?
intimidation check if you want.
I just made an insight check, and with his -2, he failed.
Cool.
So he's
Just sort of
still going.
Could you please be quiet,
I was
sir?
gonna make an intimidation check with applying a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit more
go for it
pressure.
with
Okay.
advantage because of honey.
Okay. That is a...
With advantage.
I know, I'm rolling it again. It's an 18. It's just one of those things where you just gently apply pressure to somebody. It's like squishing a cat.
So yeah, these folks all saw the orchestra ghosts up there, and can I help you? Their story. Got it.
Thank you kindly. So last night, we were here in the bar, like we are in the evenings when there's not that much to do. And we heard some interesting rumors, and being a little bit bored and being a little bit interested, we went and we talked to Mr. Jim here. And he was telling us about the lights, and this is probably, what, like 10, 11 p.m. last
A little
night?
bit earlier.
No. It was like 8.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's about
it was just
8
after
If
p.m.
it was an hour after dark, would it be like 5?
Yeah, it is winter.
I don't know what time is.
Okay, I'm gonna say it was 6 p.m. We're gonna leave it at that. It was about 6 p.m. when we went and talked to Jim, and he pointed out the lights, and we noticed that there was in fact something there. We could see like a lot of lights, and we were like, well, that's really interesting. Let's go check that out. So, we gathered our stuff and we went off into the mountains, and I will admit we got ourselves real lost.
It's
And-
almost like somebody could have reminded us which way we were going.
And so this is important though. Instead of going directly up the mountain, the logical, quick, easy way that anybody who had not gotten lost would have gone, we ended up sort of coming around the back through the woods. And this is where things get
Messy?
concerning.
That's
I'm
better.
gonna start with concerning. We figured out pretty quickly that we were being stalked by something. And
You're interrupted at this moment by Tannel. I'm sorry. You went into the woods on the backside of the mountain at night and came out.
yes,
We've had at least 4 experienced hunters go missing in the woods. Tannel says this. In
Well,
the woods to the south, 3 in the woods to the south, 1 in the woods in the back of the mountain at night, go missing over the last 2 months.
alright, well then this is real
This
important
is
for
important
you.
information to
Alright,
have.
so we noticed we were being stalked. Out of character, because I was sick out of my mind at that session, so my memory of when things happened is pretty spotty. Did we hear the voices before we saw the creatures, or did we see the creatures before?
You heard the
We heard
voices
the
before you saw the
much
creatures.
sooner.
And we heard a voice in our heads, and the voice seemed to be coming from the creatures, but not from the creature. Like it was another entity that was using the creature, and it claimed that it was mistress or master.
Mistress.
It claimed that it was the mistress of the forest, and that we were on its land, and I think it said it wanted to play. We were, needless to say, not pleased with that, so we continued walking, and we realized that there were at least 3 of them, and we're walking, and we're going faster, and we can, it's still sort of taunting us. And we realize that the three of them are starting to try to triangulate. And at that point, I pulled out my sword and...
I'm going to interject right here.
Hmm?
It's not just that you pulled out your sword. They said something in response to it when you did. And I think it might even be that the weapon being presented, which might be why your hunters had a problem, Tano, as they probably had their bows out. And that was what may or may not have triggered their aggression. But sorry.
So they looked like, and feel free to add to description here, but they looked like it was the body of a very large dog with a human face on it.
Swap is going to interject.
How large was the
Horse.
Horse. And it
That's
floated.
audible.
I have no idea if it's audible.
Do the voice again, please.
How large was
Probably.
the
Okay, cool.
horse and
They
the facial features?
were kind of creepy looking.
Human, but mangled.
And you were able to fight them with your magic and magical weapons.
They were yelps.
They were so
Yes.
yes.
Yes,
They
yeah.
were yes.
Correct.
And you have magical weapons and magic at your disposal.
No, they
You do not. So
You
you
can-
defeated all three.
So
I took a nasty couple whacks out of them. Thank you very much.
They react.
Yes.
It-
You don't have magical weapons.
Yes.
That is strange.
Put my tankard down loudly.
Ah.
These yes were gonna kill you.
What, for putting a creature into the planning before you had done your accent?
Me for saying yes and having that fun little bit. Fucking them up.
These yes were different than normal. I had the chance to examine a scrap of them left behind.
You found a
They-
scrap.
Do we still...
If it still exists, you still have
We
it.
cannot bring it out. It will vanish in the light. If we still have it. They appeared to be more connected to the Shadow Realm than to the Feywild. That is, I think, why we could attack them. Because we could hit them when they were fully in the light.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they could not even stand there. They would vanish.
They all.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage, please.
They also had a. Oh, that's for
Okay, that's not bad.
you can continue.
Yeah, that's a straight 18.
They also had a fear effect that impacted some but not all of the party. And once it had impacted part of the party, they made a point to attack only those that had been feared, and those who had not been impacted were, for the most part, not attacked. It's important to note that we were able to kill 2 of them, and the third one got away. But not before the voice said something to the effect of, "Do you know how long it will take to bring these creatures back?" Which makes me think that we didn't so much kill them as we sent them back to whatever plane they came from.
Swap leans over to Tano and says,
I will do a small seminar on what these creatures are and other things like them to your hunters if they wish. They are very dangerous and typically cannot be hurt unless you are wielding magic. It would be a reasonable explanation as to why your hunters have not returned, but it is not the explanation as to why you were able to fell them through no fault of your own. You've done quite well.
Will also note that while I did hurt them quite a bit, your staff is enchanted, right?
Yeah.
And when you were hitting them with your staff, that was doing a heck of a lot more than me stabbing them. I think the magic is still an important factor there, but mundane weapons do seem to help, or work to some extent.
I certainly did more damage when I was smiting than when I wasn't.
Isn't that typical though?
Yes, and
Yeah, having seen you fight in training versus fight anything else, I've noticed that when there's a bright flash of light, you tend to do a whole lot more damage.
but when I
Funny
ran
how that
out of
works.
the smite, it's like I didn't do any damage. Is my recollection of it.
Humphrey would speak up here and be like, we'll have to talk about that. It's good to know. And we will provide any services necessary to the town in help defending against these creatures should they come out.
Two more things that I think are important to note about this. Like I said, the creature that was doing the talking claimed to be the mistress of the forest. And it seemed to us that she had claimed, I don't know what it was, claimed that domain in that area and seemed to think it was theirs, and seemed to see even this village as being part of
An intrusion.
intrusion into her territory, which makes me think that could be a problem real quick for the whole town.
And why we wanted to
And-
Mumbling, muttering, but
I recommend some sort of ring of bonfires or something.
The other thing that I think was, and obviously, Mr. Stone, you would know this, but they always have a master, and that master has to be on this plane. So, whatever this mistress is, it's here.
I mean, logic dictates it would be in the woods, but yes.
at this point,
I think so.
And I reckon-
Brozniak is kind of going to be... Some of you have a high enough passive insight that Brozniak has been grumbling a little bit. You've heard a little bit of mutters of, ain't nothing that good, hard, forged steel can't put down if you stab it enough. I don't know if we need anybody else to help.
Would you like to go fight one?
No, I'm sorry.
I asked if you would like to go fight one.
Gladly.
Seems like a good idea.
Well, he's dead. That's out of character. For my anxiety's sake, can you base boost a little bit when you're doing your soft characters?
I can try.
Okay.
I am also getting over a cold, and my
That's
voice
fair.
is a little fluckerly, we'll say.
That's fair. Back in character.
So, once we had defeated the two and the third had run away, by that point we had already sort of figured out how to get to where we were going. We were a little bit less lost. So at that point we proceeded to our original objective, which was to find out what was going on with the lights. I'm going to pause here. If there are any more questions from the council or anything that y'all would like to add regarding the encounter with the Yeth, let's deal with that first before we move on to the crystal stuff.
Is that in-game?
That is in character, yeah.
So the table just kind of goes silent, and people are looking at you.
All right. Well, so it sounds like, and I turn to Professor Stone. I don't know what his title is. I guess Headmaster Stone.
You don't know what his title is.
I'm gonna just guess Headmaster Stone, but I'm not addressing
Okay.
him. I'm
What
just
is his
saying it in
title?
my head.
Because I would know.
God, I hate improvising things that I
Ha.
don't think
Well,
I
while
have
you're
to
thinking
improvise.
about it, I'm gonna say,
Grand Seer Stone.
Sure.
cool. I wouldn't know that.
No, you wouldn't.
So I'm not even gonna bother writing it down. So it seems like you know a lot about these creatures and what they are.
I have done some reading.
For your benefit, and I point to Tannel, for your benefit, the snow was 5 foot deep out there, easily, sometimes taller in places where it had fallen off the trees. They were about a couple of inches off the snow, which made fighting them a little bit of a bitch. The good news is, it's like pinatas. The bad news is they do have the high ground.
And that was even over places where we had broken a path through the snow, and they would then be several feet over the air, flying, not affected by where the ground was.
I think technically it was floating.
What's
That
the
is a
difference?
semantical argument I refuse to get into.
Well, it sounds like one of us wants to get into it.
Later.
I mean, it's a bit like floating, but technically it could fall under the classification of flying, as they can propel themselves through the...
Refractor or
Also,
Box
she's
kind of
totally
puts
right.
puts his hand on Swapa's shoulder.
Yes, yes.
I think we're going to ask about the next ball now. Also, I've noted pinatas are now canon for everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. Easy enough to make. Sheep splatter, stuff it full of goodies,
Watch it out of cannon.
harden it. Yeah. You just canonized cannons. And we have just canonized pinata cannons.
No, I was joking.
It's like a t-shirt cannon, but explosive.
Canonception.
T-shirts don't exist. So, Farnate says you said there was more about the lights.
Yes, so now we'll get into that part. So, we walked up to the mountain, right to the edge, and there was more mountain, but it was crystal. And you could walk out onto it, and you could see that because it was crystal, the dancing lights that we all were seeing were just stars and light refracted through the crystal itself. It was as though
Not solid though.
Urbach has started leaning forward
It
and
was
making
as
this
though-
posture.
the mountain and it caved in. It was like the rest of it had been filled with crystal, and it had assume that I say the right details of the colors of the crystal, but I have, like
Blues
I
and
said,
greens very pale.
no memory of it.
It was very pale, but slightly toned blue.
For reference for everyone, I'm pretty sure I had a fever at the last session, and I basically didn't exist for the next 2 weeks after it. So my memories are very, very
That's
spotty
okay.
at that
You
session.
don't have to
okay.
apologize.
Just a bad cold
Let's-
though.
If you want me to take over, I can.
We're all good.
Yep.
But anyway, so and some of us were able to sort of walk out onto the crystal.
To be clear, it wasn't like solid sheets or anything. It was a lattice work.
Yes.
Like you could almost say like a spider web in 3 dimensions.
Refractor Urbach is gonna go. Did it have a shape like mostly hexagons of small crystal that started very small towards the outside and expanded as they went in?
Rather
In
specifically.
being what direction?
Towards the center of whatever structure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Rather specifically,
Interesting.
exactly that.
Everybody roll me a perception check real quick.
Oh no!
What the hell? Damn it.
8.
19.
6.
What'd you get on the
Now
dice?
1 for a total of 3.
You are the only person who notices a number of eyebrows go around the table, go up at this, and some attention quietly turned towards
Urbach.
Urbach at this. I will get you a list of who does that in a little bit.
We did a little bit of just sort of testing it, trying to figure out was it really there.
If it was durable.
If it was durable, so the music that you heard might have been us like hitting it to see like, does this stay? Does it break at all? Sort of trying to test the safety and sustainability of it. We shined lights through it, so I reckon that's the lights y'all saw.
Except for one of them. One of the times I decided to see how durable it was, and it responded to to being struck with a hammer very forcefully by glowing and doing sound at the same time.
I do remember that, yeah.
So it was you
Yeah.
that caused the
Yes.
noise.
Probably.
How durable does it seem?
Who's asking?
You still got
This
that
is
round
Farnett.
chisel.
Is not a $2 chisel.
Sure, but it's
In
a
one
pretty big
strike?
chunk.
Here's the important part. After we had gone out and sort of explored, we came back in. The moon was shining the entire time that we were there, and shining on it. And when the sun rose, it vanished.
And we did check by, I believe I took a rope and dragged it through the open air to ensure that there wasn't just something I couldn't see.
Yeah, it had fully disappeared. There's a lot of sort of rabble muttering, talking about that.
And there's one more point, too.
Finally, I've been waiting so long for the Ghost Orchestra.
There wasn't one. Shut up.
That you saw.
San Jim, says Farnett. Okay, buddy.
When we were looking at it, we dug in next to the mountain where the crystal met to the stone of the mountain. I wasn't able to dig very deep, maybe 2 hands deep or so. But I did find that there was more crystal going down into the stone of the mountain as well. It wasn't like it was simply floating there adjacent. It actually interacts with the shape of the mountain.
We looked at it in the
And-
morning and we didn't see it, right?
You did see it.
We did see
And
Still
Refractor
present in the
Urvac
stone.
is going to actually ask you, was it there in the morning?
It was.
And connected to nothing.
If I recall correctly, it basically, as soon as it exited the stone, it was like it had been perfectly sheared off. And there was just a round of or probably a hexagonal, segment of crystal sticking down into the stone, apparently.
Okay. There's some more sort of conversation. Different, groups of people are talking over each other. There's some fors, some against, some I don't know what we do about this. The Refractor Urbach is saying, well, we're going to have to send a group of our congregation out to look at this during the night when the moon's there. Is there some way that we can have some of your people to help come with us to help protect us? We're typically safe, and this is going on. Yes.
In response to that, I just pipe up and say, you might want to go out during the day and just camp up there so you don't have to traverse the woods proper at night.
Of course, that's typically what happens.
Okay.
And then they go back to.
You said go out
No,
there
that
at
was-
night,
that was-
so I want to clarify.
That was Refractor Urbach talking to Tannel.
Uh-huh.
And so they're kind of going back and forth on this. And they're not really making up a decision. And they, Farnett says, bangs his mug on the table and brings things to order and goes, I think we're probably going to need some discussion about this. Is there anything else you four and you, Zanjim, have to add?
Nothing to add, but a question to ask. Refractor Earlbach, you predicted correctly what shape we were going to describe the crystal lattice setting out of the mountain would be. Is there something else like that you've seen? Do you know? Can you tell us why you think it would have been that shape?
Roll a persuasion check. At disadvantage.
It's because you're rude. Okay.
Persuasion. 15.
That's good. 10?
Yeah.
Dang.
Your persuasion's better than mine.
I mean, look at him.
I have
I am the
persuasion,
face.
though. It's +0.
I am the face.
You're a face.
He kind of
He a handsome face.
his face sort of stills, and you can't really see very much emotion through it. And he says, I have an answer for that. It is a good answer, and I am happy to share it with the council, but it has to do with the inner workings of our church, and I would not want it to go further than the council members at this table. So for that reason, I will not be answering your question, and I will tell you, my colleagues, in the deepest of confidence, that answer when it is just us, if you don't want my response.
No, I just want to make sure that it was brought attention to, that's all.
There's a small quirk to his mouth, as he says. I appreciate your forthrightness. Sorry, I'm being a little bit quiet.
Yeah.
A bit, yes.
Speaking of in confidence, do you need us for anything else?
The council kind of looks around. I don't think we need you or Zanjim. You've been a big help for anything. We would ask you not to go back into the woods for the time being, in case we have more questions for you. Not to go back to. We're going to have to tell people not to go on the mountain unless they've come through the council first.
Do you want us to start telling people that? We can make rounds.
No, we'll
Official
send
channels.
We'll send that out to official channels. Nobody's really been going on the mountain since part of it fell, but yeah, I would not go to the woods. And
Can I make an insight check?
sure. What are you trying to figure out?
When he said nobody's been on the mountain since it fell, is there any hint of you guys are morons for having tried this in it?
Yeah, roll me an insight check.
Fuck, it's almost a 19. That is going to be 13.
You're not picking anything of that sort up.
Okay, cool. He's totally chill, guys.
If there is to be a party sent into the woods to try and deal with that, I would like to be among them. I'm sure you'll be asking for volunteers.
We'll have to decide as a council on what to do with that. But yes. Anything else you guys want to do before you head outside of the tavern?
I want to get out of there.
Yeah, I also
All
don't
right.
wanna
Yeah,
leave
they
the tavern.
let you guys go.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm gonna get another thing of soup to go.
I would like to lurk because I would like to get not lurk inside the tavern.
Okay.
Lurk outside the tavern because I would like to let Lightbringer and Twiceborn and Refractor Urbex. Basically, I want to talk to them, I think, together versus individually about sort of the spiritual stuff that I felt on the mountain.
Okay.
And I didn't want to say that in front of the council.
Sounds good. You guys are all sort of hustled out of the door. The Zanjim is given a. You are asked to not talk about what has been discussed. Zanjim is told not to talk about what has been discussed, and is given a free keg, like sort of mini keg, in payment, and immediately walks out with you guys and says, "I cannot wait to tell everybody what's going on," and walks off.
I grab the keg.
Yep.
Yep.
You grab the
cool.
keg, I grab him by the back of the
All right.
stuff.
Roll me athletics checks, both of you.
You're getting the keg, I'm getting the scruff, right?
Nat 20.
Sorry, you said athletics check?
Yep.
That is a 12.
Oh, what is that? Can I also roll a sleight of hand check?
No. You are
Disadvantage?
what? No.
Or is that against us?
No. That is with advantage.
Oh.
And what is your total?
Athletics?
Yes.
20.
With that 14 plus 7
Damn.
acrobatics, he beats you by 1. And what was your total?
No, mine was,
Also a 21.
yeah, no, because I rolled an 11 on the dice. Fair enough.
He's a nimble little fucker.
Apparently.
You know what?
Not my problem anymore.
The town knows him.
They're not gonna believe him. That's literally their best insurance.
I've got an idea, and I go running off
No.
after him.
Hold on. You and I have to have a conversation. I follow you.
All right, now I'm literally standing like they're going there, but and I follow.
You're being pointed at.
What are you doing?
I guess I want to see what happens.
All right.
Televere takes the lead.
So, how quickly do you react?
I mean,
You're
I
a
see,
few feet
I
behind
was,
me,
I
right?
was doing like a stretch and getting ready to talk to you about a thing, and then you took off, and I just took off after you.
Cool.
Monk reflexes, yo.
So you're probably like 10 to 15
Yeah,
feet
I'm
behind me?
probably 10 feet behind you.
Cool. Can I make a stealth roll, please?
Potentially. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to lose them. All three of them. As I go around a corner. Doing things to make it
doing things
Are
to
you
do.
following
Okay, okay.
Jim?
No.
Oh, no, you're not following Jim. You're just, okay.
Are you following Jim at the start?
No.
Oh, so it's clear that you're
I
not.
mean, starting in that direction.
Okay,
sure.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Roll me a stealth check with advantage. Everybody else, roll me a perception check.
Nope.
Where's my stealth score?
That's my second one in a row.
No.
That would be an 18.
Well,
Anybody need it?
I would have if I got twice what I got.
I got a 9.
I got a
Likewise.
natural one.
Oh,
Heck
good.
no.
Yeah, you guys turn the corner, and Telvir is gone. There's a couple other people walking on the street. You see, sort of in the distance, just going faster than you were expecting at all.
Mm-hmm.
Turning like a block and a half down, turning into a building is
Turned into a building?
no turning into a building.
Uh-huh.
Handjet, come on.
Oh, spell.
Is Jim.
Too bad. I'm
and-
going to use survival to start looking for hoofed tracks.
Well, it's late. I'm going back to my barn.
Okay.
It's actually not that late. We got in.
It's not that late.
It's,
Yeah.
it's like 10, 11.
No, we
Got in.
we had to stay in place because we stayed up
Oh,
till
true.
sunrise.
You
We had to
did.
stay in place for a full 8 hours of rest before we could leave to come back down the mountain.
You
That's
did
fair.
2 hours, so it's like
I thought it was like dusk when we got back to town.
It was like an hour before, so it's getting a little bit
Okay.
That's fair.
darker.
I am gonna head back to my lurking spot.
All right. As the party splits off,
Hold
we
on.
are going to
Okay.
as the party starts to split up, we are going to
Depending on whether I find him or not,
Yes.
affects his thing.
I know.
Okay.
So you said you were gonna...
Yeah. Let me figure out how the order I want to do this in.
Hey.
Sure. Them first.
Roll your survival.
And what were you looking for?
Tracks. Oh, fuck.
Are you wearing your
That's an 11.
snowshoes?
Well, no, because, satyr hooves.
Pause.
Well, big paws, but they're big fuzzy
That's an
paws.
11.
They're
I
very
don't think that's
fuzzy
going to do it.
Um,
I guess he
Shoes
wasn't
to
covering
that.
his tracks. He was just trying to slide
No,
his
you
way
were
out.
walking on the
Cleared
town
road.
roads, which are cleared.
I mean, there might be a program.
He said he was turning a corner. I don't know how expansive these town roads are. 'Cause
You definitely see hints of them. They turn the corner, and then you cannot find any more.
Okay. Well, there's nowhere for him to go anyway. I'm gonna. Well, fuck. I guess I'm staying with you guys. Yeah. So I'm gonna make my way back to the little sort of pseudo housing that we've got for the church.
Okay.
And
And
see if they
you're
need any
waiting
help
sort of like
there.
in the courtyard near the inn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I'm sure I'm doing something that looks I don't know. I was like whittling,
Inconspicuous?
but I don't know that she whittles. I haven't thought that far enough back.
You're doing a handcraft. Okay.
Yep.
So, could you describe?
Wait, last question. Ashkar, you're going to the barracks by the college to go to bed?
Ashkar is renting out half of a barn.
Perfect. So you're going there?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you wish to do tonight? Assuming no major events happen.
I don't think so.
Okay, perfect.
Like, I've said I want to be alerted if they're sending a party into the forest, but other than
Yep.
that, I really don't want to get involved in town politics.
You are going back, and you're also not...
Yeah, I'm going
Excellent.
back to sleep.
You
It's
were
been a long
waiting.
day.
Let's
2
go.
days.
What are you doing?
Could you describe the outside of the tavern to me? I'm headed back there.
It is a large building. Sort of heavy shutters on windows all along the outside. All of them are shuttered and barred from the outside. It's got 4 stories and a very steep roof to keep the snow off. And is the main sort of... It's really the only inn for people to stay, and then it's...
All the common tavern spaces are on the main floor?
All the
including the kitchen?
tavern spaces, including the kitchen, are on the main floor.
Cool. Having been in town for a few months, and spent quite a lot of time there, I would know that the tavern keeper, I think you said, had 2 kids?
He's got a couple of kids, but the people who work for him,
Mm-hmm.
he's got a couple of local kids who he employs as runners to send messages around town, because it really is the hub building of the town.
Right.
So he employs people to do, odd jobs like clearing tables and whatever, and there's some wait staff, and then there are runners to, room 3C needs fresh towels,
Sure.
take them up to them, or, send a message to the miners.
Can I roll a, I suppose, retroactive perception check to see what the waitstaff were doing while we were having a meeting?
They all, you can roll it. I've got some information for you that you do not have to roll for.
You can roll it anyway.
They were told to take a break in the kitchen and shut the door. Is that a nat 1?
That was a 9.
A 9?
That's what I got.
You heard one of the kids talk about cards.
Okay.
Or anyone want to play some cards or Crimbus while we wait? And
Were there any other rooms on the main floor that have window access that were not the common room where the meeting was, or the kitchen?
some of it actually has some very nicely enchanted outhouses that you could.
So not like outhouse, but like water closet on the
Water
exterior.
closets. There are windows on the exterior. They are openable to vent, but they are typically kept locked and are heavily opaqued.
That's not a problem. So I'm gonna make my way over to one of those and try and pick one of those locks.
What do you look like right now?
So right now, instead of my usual leather armor and sort of leathers and rougher gear and the satyr appearance, as I turned the corner, I shapeshifted into appear like just sort of a generic human, probably picking features out of faces of different people I've seen along the way. Walked straight past my friend and colleague chasing after me as they came around the corner and just kept
I'm
going
heading the other way.
direction.
I looked at something and checked a couple things out and left.
Yeah. Oddly enough, there was a person walking barefoot for a little bit there. That was strange.
No, you would have had boots on.
Clothes, not boots.
No.
My garment that I was wearing, the sort of rough and leathers, at this point turned into sort of a not quite a cassock.
You wouldn't. If you want them, you would have had boots on.
But they didn't usually with the satyr, so I don't.
Okay.
Sort of like a cassock, heavy woolen garbs, long robe, simple belt, no trim or embroidery. Just walking back down the other way, and that's how I look now.
Okay. Roll me a Thieves Tools check.
I believe that's sleight of hand plus dex plus proficiency.
It is Thieves Tools proficiency plus dex. So proficiency plus dex.
Is there any chance that I've seen this?
That you've seen.
She's loitering out front,
I'm
so this
mo-
strange
a-
man
a strange man wandering around the thing.
doing a sneak.
Question for you: Is this a disguise that Honey has seen before in your
I
guys'
have
past?
specifically never used this disguise, nor did I know I was capable of it when we first met.
Okay. Is this outfit an outfit that Honey has seen you in before?
I specifically never used it.
Okay,
in
no.
presence
I'm
of
just
anyone in the party.
just asking.
Yes.
Because I have to. Your
Mhm.
passive perception is 12. What was your stealth roll again?
18.
No, you didn't see.
I think more accurately, you saw a person walk past, but it's just a person
Yeah.
walking through town.
And I was giving
And
you.
I was not thinking that I would see you. I was
Mhm.
thinking more see a suspicious person, and then if I did see you, I would have then asked to roll an insight if I
Yeah,
thought that
yeah, yeah.
mannerisms made me think.
I gave you a bonus to your perception
Mhm.
retroactively to see if you just noticed.
A strange man.
No, a person without shoes on, because that would have gotten your attention. And even with the
That
bonus,
poor
the
man.
stealth was
Yeah.
was higher than your.
I don't have great
So.
perception, so.
So Thieves' Tool roll is, again, dex plus proficiency.
Dex plus proficiency. So tool proficiencies are not necessarily tied to any specific stat. They're just stats that are typically used for them.
So I have a tool proficiency of plus 4 with it, right?
It would be your proficiency bonus plus your dex modifier in this case.
Okay, so it'd be plus 6 for Thieves' Tools. And then it'll be...
And if you have expertise in Thieves' Tools, you would double your proficiency.
Which I do. So it's
So-
plus 4 proficiency plus my dex mod, which is 6. So it's plus 10.
Your dex mod is +6?
Your dex mod is
Not plus 6. Because that would be 22. It's plus 4. Sorry.
So it's 8.
Okay.
Brain.
Plus 8.
So it's
So you
plus
got, yeah, plus 8 to your Thieves' Tools.
8. Okay. That's only a 10.
And it's only a 10?
Yeah.
No, it's...
Hands are a little shaking in the cold.
Nope. Your toes are shaking in the cold because you have to leave the streets to
Mhm.
get into the hip-deep snow
Mm-hmm.
in bare feet, and you got it. By all rights, it should be going, and the latch is frozen shut.
Oh, that's bullshit. I'm gonna go rummaging through my pack, and I'm gonna pick up some of the, let's see, some denatured alcohol on it should actually, basically...
Did you have denatured alcohol?
It's a standard solvent, so probably my alchemist kit.
Roll me a luck check. D20, DC's 5.
15.
Yeah, you got some.
And try and pour that on it, and then I'm gonna look at my feet and just... I like the paws better. Back to my usual
You look
satyr
exactly like
legs.
yourself again? Okay.
No, satyr legs, but under the robe, so I have nice warm fuzzy feet, but still look otherwise like
Perfect.
the current disguise.
That is going to prevent you from having to make the con save that I was about to make you make. Roll me another, but we're going to call this a sleight of hand check to
Okay.
properly apply the denatured alcohol.
Sleight of hand would be 15.
Oh no, a 15.
I know, right?
I haven't rolled above a 10 today.
Yeah, you are able to get a little bit of the alcohol on the latch, and you kept your tool in the right spot,
Mhm.
and you just... and it pops open.
Before opening the window more than a crack, I'm just going to put a little denatured alcohol on the hinges, make sure they're defrozen too, and then gently try and open the window. If it starts to squeak, I'm going to stop.
I'm going to give you a stealth check here.
Okay.
This is going to be your stealth check for going in, leaving, opening the window.
And because I'm not trying to fool someone with my appearance, this is just a straight roll.
This is just a straight roll.
Oh.
A 10! Wait, no, sorry. I get double proficiency with that one, so that's a 12.
On a
Rogues.
Skill monkey.
skill.
Bards are better.
You sort of oil the hinges.
Mm-hmm.
They slide open. You, hold on a second. I'm just going to roll a luck check for you. You're good. Nobody was in there.
Occupied.
You slide the window open. You climb through. You clatter your hooves on sort of the seat a little bit.
Pause.
Pause.
Pause. You know, you knock a little bit of things over. There's a little bit of noise, and you sort of open the door, and there's nobody in the hall. To your right is the kitchens. To the left is the door that leads to the main common room of the inn. And there is and then there's a door that only opens out. It doesn't have a latch on the other side that goes to the outside that you do know about.
Sure.
And there you see that the door to the common room is closed, and there's something posted on it which you can't see from here.
Cool. So I'm going to shift again to look like one of the young boys, who's one of the not servants.
Not one of the
attendants
kids,
here.
but one of the employees.
One of the employees.
Okay.
Just sort of generic person, and I'm going to take off my leather armor, toss that out the window, into the snowbank there, and just into my original set of clothing shape, as was just sort of just a not quite like adventuring gear. It's just hardy clothes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna gently walk down the hall, and I'm gonna look at the floor crack and the seams of the door to see if how well fit it is.
Fairly well fit. In a place where they're really trying to keep heat in the right places and cold in the right places.
Figured, had to check.
It's a very good scene.
Then I'm just gonna listen at the door and see if I can hear anything about their
Alright.
conversation.
And we will come back to that after our break. So we are now going to go on break for 5 minutes. We will be back at
8:38.
5 after we
fi-
stop.
five after we stop.
leave.
No.
which would be 8:38 plus the delay time. Cool.
Okay.
Oh,
right. I'm
yeah,
supposed
you
to
gotta,
go to
you
the
gotta actually
thing.
put us
Yeah,
on break.
tech guy.
I'm
All right. So, when last we left off, Telview, you were
Being sneaky.
being sneaky in the inn.
Acting like a boy.
You roll me a perception check.
I would love to.
Nope, you're good. That was the DM's brain is thinking.
Can I roll above a 10, please?
Nope.
Apparently not.
Your dice
7.
is nerfing you for your stats.
Cool. You are having a very hard time hearing through this door.
Nice stout door.
Oh, real stout door,
Good
thick,
craftsmanship.
great craftsmanship.
Real gas.
Double wood layer with some insulation in between. Nice and solid.
Your character's not sure, but yes. You are making out tone of voice, but
More.
you are not able to hear words, and you're having a very hard time distinguishing who is saying what. It sounds like there is a somewhat heated argument going on. Did I tell you what was on the sign?
Nope.
The
I
sign.
didn't look at it.
You didn't even look at it?
Didn't look at it.
Perfect. I won't tell you.
Perfect.
Yep, you are not able to hear anything other than you can tell that there's a heated argument. You're not getting tones of anger, but you are getting tones of, like, multiple people have been talking at multiple different viewpoints, and they keep talking louder to talk over each other, and that's been going on for a little while.
Cool. Well, after a moment or two of that sort of assess the mood of it, I'm not going to bother continuing. Is there like a servant stair up to the next floor?
There is a servant stair up to the next floor. It is through the kitchen.
Damn.
There's a direct staircase from the kitchens going up.
Well, in that case, I will make my way back out. I'm going to grab my armor and put it back on and skedaddle.
As yourself?
Initially still as the monk, with the armor on under it, but then, yeah, I'll turn back into myself down the streets a little ways.
Turn the corner, make sure nobody's looking. Give me a quick perception check and a luck roll.
Oh my god.
Was that the perception or the luck?
That was a perception because you asked for that first. That was a 7.
Alright, well then don't worry about it. I'll make the luck roll. Alright. How long are you waiting?
I don't know.
I mean, it's late and he's
Sorry,
supposed to come back
you're waiting at least 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, at least 30 minutes.
Right. Over the course of that 30 minutes, people start sort of gathering, like a decent number of people, as the sun starts to drop, have started gathering around the inn.
Mm-hmm.
They've seen the doors shut and closed, and a sign has been hung on the door that says "Council meeting in progress." Common room currently closed. If you are staying in the inn, knock on the exit door, and staff will let you in.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have been, come up
And
and
you left.
knock on, on the staff door, and somebody will let them in. You had already left, and that was what one of the luck rolls was about. You're there. There's a lot of talk generating about why, nobody. There wasn't supposed to be a council meeting. Well, of course, there's a council meeting. Everybody knows about the lights. The council's just as worried about it. Yeah, I really could use a beer to deal with this after a long day at work. And now they're not opening the common room. Who knows? It's cold. I'm just going home. Some people are leaving. There's some back and forth. Half an hour goes by. 45 minutes go by. Eventually,
I think after an hour I would leave.
at around an hour, Farnet steps out,
Mm-hmm.
hangs a different sign that says that the inn is closed for the evening due to the council meeting.
Mm-hmm.
You head back to go to sleep for the night?
Yep.
Alright. You headed back after you left to where you're staying to go to sleep for the night.
I actually don't know where I'm staying.
Would you be staying in the inn?
I might be.
So would you have actually... So do you walk around town for a bit and then come back and
Yeah.
knock on the door and...
Actually, no. I think.
Read that sign you ignored.
No, I deliberately lost you guys to not not show you about it. So no, I think it's sort of a meander around town a little bit and then head back to the inn.
Anything in particular you want to do, or...
What's over there? Meander. What's over there? Nah.
There's a couple of odd shops that you hadn't found in town. There's a barber shop, if you feel like getting a haircut. It's a barber shop and dentistry.
Actually, on seeing that, I do go into the barber shop.
Awesome.
Oh my god, are you gonna come back the next day?
Are you
with
getting a
the
haircut?
same-
Yeah.
I'm so
Great.
excited.
Anything in particular you want to describe? A good clean shaven?
No, just something shorter a bit. You know, all this extra mane is in the way, and it gets up tangled in the horn sometimes. So just something a bit shorter. I leave it to you.
What's your passive insight? Okay. Plenty. There's a little bit of pause because the barber has definitely never given a haircut to a satyr before,
Mhm.
and then gives you a pretty damn good haircut.
No, it doesn't.
I'm really excited.
It just keeps growing.
Yes!
It just keeps growing.
You're such a dick. This poor guy trying to eke out a life.
badly. Oh, thank you, Robert. Thank you so much. Oh my god.
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand check real quick.
Certainly.
Oh, thank you.
Sleight of hair.
Again, above a 10, please. How above a 5?
On the dice or the total? You kind of
On
need
the
a total.
die. Sleight of hand, 10.
Sleight of hair?
Sleight of hair.
A 10? Okay. He doesn't say anything for a little while, and then you notice he's got another couple customers backed up behind you, and you start hearing confused noises, but he's being really professional about it. Then you start hearing frustrated noises.
After a little bit, it's like, is it fighting back? And
No, it's fine.
No. As I say that,
No.
two bits start curling up, and just
Oh, and he's gonna just right at the base, and he's starting to just overly cut up. He's actually hold on a
at
second.
this point I'll stop.
Okay. He gives you a fairly reasonable hair trim.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, he turns his last customer for the day away. It looks nice. He holds up a mirror to show you the sides and top of your head.
Mhm.
And you leave. Do you,
Wait, did
I
he
pay
make-
double.
have you
Yeah.
paid double? Thank you. He seems to feel a little bit. There's a lot of mixed emotions coming from this man.
It seems like it was real rough, and your last customer walked out. Here, I pay a little bit more, and as I do that, lock on the side of hair just keeps growing longer.
Just one line.
Alright.
Oh my god.
I think you know your body fairly well, and that it does take you 30 minutes to realize that he stealthily did manage to give you a bald patch on the top of your head.
Oh, I knew it was there. I absolutely knew it was there because I could
No.
know
No,
it.
Not with the rolls.
Oh, that's fair.
No. He rolled a really good sleight of hand check against your passive perception. There was a lot of fighting, but towards the end, when he was really getting pissed off and realized that you were doing it on purpose, he went and just... And there's just this... There was one patch that you're able to easily fix.
Mhm.
But there's one patch that was just embarrassingly short on the back of your head. And then all of a sudden you realize why he seemed like a little bit ashamed when you gave him the extra money. You're able to fix it easily. Of course.
No harm, no foul.
Just had to get into the mischievousness out.
Oh, of course you did.
How much gold do you pay, bro?
I don't know, how much is triple?
How much is triple? With tip?
Of course.
2 gold.
I'm not an animal.
Well, I mean,
I'm part
sometimes.
animal.
So, the day passes. Does anybody have anything they want to do over the night?
I
Sleep.
actually, on my way back to where the Church of Palor has set up their sort of homestead, I'm gonna swing by Jim's.
All right. There was no answer.
It went to find the hot gossip.
No answer.
Well, he's not quiet. I'm gonna meander until I hear him. I can roll an investigation if you'd like me to.
Oh. That's a nat 20. That was for your luck.
Oh.
Literally, the next block over, you walk like 4 feet, and you're like, "Oh my god, I hear him."
Mm-hmm.
It's just another residential house. It's like literally, he's like most of the way down a block, and then like just sort of around the corner, there's another house.
Another gnomish house?
Another gnomish house, and you see the sign. It says Susie's Cottage, and you hear a bunch of laughter, and Jim's voice is inside.
Okay. I sort of stand there awkwardly for a moment, and then
Door opens. There's a cute-looking gnome woman.
you said it was Susan's college?
Susie's.
Susie's, thank you.
I believe it's Susie's. Give
You
me a
said
second.
Susie.
That's
You
what
said
I remember.
Susie. Right, Susie was the one who was spreading rumors about him.
It's Susie's cottage.
Susie.
And yeah, there's a very cute, think like ringlet hair, pretty gnomish woman,
But like, no.
Adult.
but an adult with just like the sort of wavy hair,
Okay.
sort of dressed up a little bit, and there appears to be a party going on in the background.
Oh, okay. So it's not just their voices.
Oh, it's a party.
Okay.
There's a bunch of gnomes and halflings and humans and stuff, and there's a couple of kegs of some
Okay.
things, and there's the small keg of
Best kind of
whiskey
party. A
is
bunch
there,
of gnomes.
it's like 50% gnomes from around town, and then just a bunch of other people. I want to say it was like 5 or 6 gnomes, and then like 4 other people
Okay.
just hanging out, playing some Crimbus. Playing some cards. There's somebody in the corner with a, we're gonna...
Hurdy-gurdy, 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 please.
I was waffling between hurdy-gurdy and accordion, and we're gonna go with hurdy-gurdy.
No, go with banjo.
Yeah, there's a banjo player, too.
I'm sorry.
And banjo.
There's a dead man speaking?
You're not there.
Hurdy-gurdy banjo?
Nor is your character. It seems like a lively party, and she says, "I don't think I know you. Come in, have a drink." And you are quickly whisked inside the door.
Hi, Susie, right?
Yes! How did you know?
It's on the cottage sign out front. And Jim's mentioned you, too.
Has he now? Just suddenly cold, the music cuts to a stop, everything stops. Jim over in the corner.
Yeah, it was...
Oh,
Likes to chat.
honey, what have you been saying about me?
He likes...
Nothing!
He likes to chat with you. You said I should talk to you at some point.
Yeah, I definitely did. What's another nat 20 with a deception from him, and let's see her insight.
I can't see it. What is
That's not a 20.
Um,
They know each other too well.
they know each other very well, and they immediately start just absolutely laying into each other and yelling at each other. You are forgotten. There's like beat. Their argument goes into the kitchen and is happening, and then
kitchen.
everybody in the room just kind of shrugs, and somebody who's playing, cards goes, "Do you want his hand?" And the music starts back up, and the party keeps going as if nothing's happening.
Sure, what are we playing?
5-card draw,
Yeah, I know 5-card draw.
and the party goes.
Alright.
They offer to pour you a drink. I'm assuming you don't partake.
No, somebody has to be, sober enough to carry some people home through the snow, it looks like.
this will
Oh my god, that's a
accidentally
great
attack
idea. Why don't we do that more? Have somebody do that more often? Because nobody wants to be the sober one. We love you. You have a great time
Yeah!
and are welcome for as long as you stay at the party.
Do Jim and Susie reemerge at any point?
They definitely slept together, and yes.
Okay.
Um,
I think I stay not quite for as long as the party goes, but I probably stay at least till 2 a.m.
yeah, that's about right.
Okay.
There's some people who you help get home at around that time frame, but there's
Yeah, I
definitely
think
some people
it's
who
just like the goats, except I'm 5'4", so it's just like fireman's carry, trump, trump, trump. Next person, trump, trump, trump.
Yeah. You make it home. You've had a pretty great night.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me a D10.
The 6, sorry.
You've won 6 silver over the course of the night
Nice.
of like copper bets.
Cool.
You just want a really big pot towards the end of the night. You have a perpetual invitation back to the party, of which you weren't actually told when the next one will be.
Uh-huh. I'm sure it will be audible if I just sort of meander around.
Walk through that
the
block? Yeah.
Yeah. Do I
and-
meet like anybody? Do I meet any interesting characters? I feel like Thistle is affable enough that like you don't have to come up with names, but you're just like a handful
They're
of people.
all very okay. Do you know how everybody at Ren Fair are interesting people?
Yes.
This is fully that vibe.
Okay.
Um,
Do I like get to know a handful of them?
you get to know a handful of them.
Okay. I just want to be able to drop NPCs in on you.
Oh yeah, go for it.
But do I manage to talk to Jim at any point during the evening?
How hard do you try?
I mean, if I have to carry him home, that's a decent enough chance.
No,
to...
he's staying over.
Okay, well that's fair.
They don't have a healthy relationship. They just have a relationship.
I don't need to talk to him alone.
No.
Talk to him. So we can talk over cards.
No. Then yeah, you
If
guys
I
had a
can-
conversation.
If
about
I
it.
can lure him back into cards,
It depends. If you talk to him about the lights,
No.
everyone else is going
nope.
to tell him to shut up because they've heard the story too many times.
Nope.
Excellent. Then yeah, you guys are able to have a conversation.
Cool.
What do you want to talk about with him?
Fucking cards here. So, Jim, I had a quick question for you. You were talking about those journals that you keep.
Oh yeah.
Are they like private, or would you mind if I mean, it sounds like really interesting stuff, and I mean, I'd be interested in reading it if you ever,
I told you all I could get a publishing deal. Yes, anytime you want.
I can't publish, but,
Anytime you want. Talk to people who you know who have publishing rights and things like that. I'm going to make so much money off this. And he just completely tangents, but he has given you full permission to
I mean,
read
I
them
don't, like,
anytime.
Brother Hangrit is in charge of manuscripts at the monastery, so he might know somebody. I could ask him.
He, runs over, goes to the keg, pours you a huge thing of whiskey, puts it in front of you, and is just like, "You are my best friend," and then goes back to the game and is just ranting about this.
There's
He
this
pours
lady
you-
that keeps dancing by, and when he is not looking, I'd like to roll a sleight of hand check to just very quickly,
Oh, I was going to say he pours you at least 4 separate glasses of whiskey over the course of the night that just stack up and he does not realize. In fact, he actually drinks one of them at one point.
That's
Sorry.
fine. Can I make like a sleight of
Oh,
hand?
100%.
Like the first one goes to the dancer, and then when I realize that he's not noticing, like the next one goes to the person to the left of me with like a little wink.
Cool. Roll me a sleight of hand.
Not my best stat. And not with a
Did
roll
you
like
beat a
that.
5?
Yes, yes, I beat a 5.
Yes.
Okay, I'll.
I rolled real poorly over on the corner with his disadvantage. Yeah. Alright, so you have a great time. You have a great time. You guys actually get a lot more rest. Morning comes. And,
I actually have one last question.
sure.
I assume I'm not on the second floor of the inn. Probably not.
Why would you assume that?
Because if I was on the second floor, or if I was not escorted up to my room by an attendant, I would walk through the second floor and listen to see if I could hear the conversation through the floorboards.
You know that they're fairly thick floors.
Never mind that.
Actually, sorry, you would not be on. No, you wouldn't be on the second floor. The second floor is the
Owners.
It's the owner's apartments,
Yeah, figured.
and so there's the only way to get to the second floor is through the servants' staircase.
Perfect.
The main staircase does not have doors to the second floor, and just goes to the third and fourth, where the guests' rooms are. Or it's got like one door which is locked that guests can knock on if they need something in the middle of the night. Which is done so that the noise from the common room does not disturb guests sleeping.
Perfect.
How thoughtful.
It's a well-designed inn. All right.
I'll just put this one in the middle so that people can abduct it as needed.
So, as you wake up, different times for each of you, you find that you all have been delivered letters saying that the council was unable to decide on a proper course of action and is requests for you all to not speak to others about it. You guys have been they have requested that you not enter the forest, and you guys have been let know that there is a small group going today, independent of you all, to look into what you said.
Wait, which part of what we said?
Yeah.
The crystals.
Okay.
Your passive insights are all easily high enough to read the tone of voice, and it's not, we're checking to make sure you're not lying. It's none of that. It's more, we're double checking, we're corroborating the story. We would like you guys to stay in town.
Trust but confirm.
Exactly.
Get the experts in on it.
And that you also then find out that you all quickly independently find out that the forest and mountain, the council, all of the leadership independently have decreed those off limits, which the town is not taking particularly well. There is a lot of rabble about that. And a lot of confusion and worry. None of the council are particularly reachable for comment over the course of the day. About half of them, of the people you guys all talked with, have left at dawn to have the most amount of light to get up. A number of the foresters and more capable combatants of town, in addition to a decent chunk. You two got a little bit more information about how. Well, actually, you probably wouldn't have because you got home. You got back very late.
I did get back very
You
late.
would have gotten a little bit more information about how they wanted you to stay here. But that they had to leave, and about I want to say a third of the more combat focused and spellcasters and fighters in your belonging to the congregation of Palor who is here have gone to help protect if there are attacks, and that you are sort of free to do what you want in town or in the area around town, but that, stay away from the woods. You guys are kind of left to your own devices right now. What would you guys like to do?
You said there's some like rabble and stuff,
There's a decent amount of
like grumbling.
grumbling and rumbling. It's not gathered anywhere. It's just little conversations you overhear over the course of the day. With, if you go to the store to do anything, you're hearing people talking to the cashier, and they're saying, "Can you believe what's going on? Like, the council is cutting the rest of the town out, and they're dealing with this, and like they're not telling us what's going on. Like the whole point is that we trust them to make decisions, but they have to tell us. And now half of them have absconded up the mountain, and
Can we figure out which ones are the ones that have gone up the mountain?
Oh yeah, good
that's
question.
easy enough information to pick up. The two representatives of the churches have gone. There's a sizable number of Gemborn that went in. It was a group of about 20 people who went up the mountain. Tannel went. Bruzniak went. And then Swap, Refractor Urbach, and Lightbringer Hunfrey have all gone as well. The Brace Brewers are notably are findable as they are running the store, but they have more than just refused to comment on anything that's happening, but a couple of people have taken the questioning a little bit further than, like...
Polite?
Yes, further than polite, and they have been quickly shunted out of the store. The day is mostly yours. A lot of this stuff is picked up just by being in town. What would you guys like to do?
I will spend my day, or at least a good portion of it, sort of just meandering through town, and every time I hear one of those conversations, I will strike up a conversation to a random person in speaking range of that conversation, and talk about how good idea it is that they're responding so quickly, and they're getting more information, and they're figuring out what's going on before just wildly running off and doing something, and making sure they have accurate and precise information so that when something does happen, it doesn't just, cause bigger problems. And then, projecting my voice in that general direction.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check.
That is not a 1, it is a 7. It was next to a 1.
It's above a 5.
That's a
Above
total
a 10.
5.
Have you tried
Persuasion?
rolling a d12?
That would be a
Would
12.
you like to borrow one of mine?
Okay.
Do you want me to get some wild juju on that?
Fuck
So, you guys can gather together. You guys could go off and do other things right now. There's just not...
I'll probably spend most of my morning doing that.
Okay.
I think I spent most of my morning kind of contemplating the experience of the night and the forces I felt, and
Okay.
kind of holding the peace and just trying to meditate, essentially. Just kind of trying to meditate on what it was I experienced.
You would have had a couple of minutes to talk to the Lightbringer.
Do not.
But he would have made it clear that he didn't have a lot of time before he had to head out. Did you want to mention anything about wanting to speak to him before he left, or?
Should have saved it.
No, because I'm in this sort of weird place where I feel like I either want to have a conversation with Gemborn first, or I want to have it with the two of them together.
Okay.
And if he's already like running, like this is a longer conversation than you stick in 15 minutes before they run off on a mission, and probably what I would have to say would make him like stop and pause. But after a night of sleep and contemplation, I'm not sure what the right thing is, and I would rather sit on it than do the wrong thing.
Okay. You finally, just because of your interaction with one of the members, would know that the council debated until like late in the night, and for the most part didn't sleep and used magic to deal with the consequences of that. And then some of them have headed off, and some of the others are just not really able to be found, likely because they've been sleeping for most of the morning. Ashkar, what does your morning consist of?
I think I probably would have gone over to the university and worked on some more equipment plans.
Okay.
And then in the evening, gone over to the tavern, seeing if these guys were around or if I just get a quiet drink.
Alright, Thistle.
I think my morning is probably what Thistle's mornings usually look like. A list of sort of self-assigned chores. Check on the goats. The compost pile probably needs some work just because it's buried in snow and you want to make sure that it has enough insulation and, wait on that roll because you're not there. Make sure it has enough insulation. Check on the goats. Look at how work on the field is going, making sure that it's properly, set for the winter. Check on the goats. Check on the goats again after the first check because I know Frederico has gotten away while my back has been turned. It's funny because Thistle's original sort of chore schedule was like a lot more varied, but check on the goats became more frequent because one, Thistle has the patience to go
Check
deal
on the
with
goats.
And two, that pen is not that good.
It is. There's just like 5 goats spearheaded by Frederico who nobody can figure out how they're getting out.
That's not all I do though, if that's...
Oh, that's fine. I was just going to say,
Sure.
Roll a quick animal handling for me.
Oh, sure. That's a 7 on the dice, so that's an 11 total.
Okay, yeah.
My animal handling's not bad.
No, it's not at all. Which is why at least twice you turn around and there's Frederico following you as you're doing your other chores.
Ah,
Just hanging out.
I don't know who I'm handing this to. Oh, I guess so.
What is this?
Don't worry, I'm going to talk at you while you look at that. Okay, Frederico's following me while I'm doing my chores. That's excellent. If Frederico is following me, that's great. There's plenty for Frederico to do. There's probably some good scraps in the compost heap that he can eat and deposit elsewhere for the good of the ground.
Yep.
So I'm not bothered if he wants to follow me during my chores.
If you're feeding him?
Oh, I'm not feeding him, but in the compost pile, I am going to look the other way if he sees a scrap that he wants to eat.
Oh, sorry, are you going to the compost pile today?
Yeah, it's one of my chores.
Oh, did you have some other people who wanted to go to the compost pile with you?
If I see Televere, I am going to approach him, and he's talking loudly in the town, so I feel like as I'm moving around, I have a decent enough chance of
your
spotting
passive
Televere.
perception is easily enough to spot him, but the other two owe that as well.
Unless I don't look like myself.
Do you look like yourself?
That's what I look like myself.
Yeah.
It's a long winter. I'll get them all eventually.
Okay. Yeah, you are, I want to say around midday.
Okay.
You are talking loudly about this, and the person you're talking to is like, you know what, you're right. You're right. I am glad that they're doing that. The person who you are targeting is not paying any attention to you whatsoever, and unfortunately, you are not paying attention to Thistle, who has snuck up on you, and has walked up to right behind you.
I sort of, with one elbow, just gently nudge Frederico. He goes, meh, right behind you.
How do they keep getting... Oh, hey!
Hi!
Hi.
How's your morning going?
Idiots are idiots. Anyway.
Fair enough. I need an extra set of hands, and if I'm not mistaken, you owe me a pair.
But sure.
Frederico? No, I'm kidding. Alright. This is pretty easy work.
Also,
you don't actually
I
have
thought
to
you
work.
were a monk, not a druid.
I mean, you have to take care of livestock if you want any sort of goods
fair.
around the monastery. It's all about patience. Come on. This is actually a pretty easy one. We just need to make sure that it's, properly ventilated, doesn't get so hot and combust while it's all insulated by snow. You don't even have to touch the actual heap if you don't want to. So, getting off easy.
Yeah.
And I drag him over with me, and we're just going to wheelbarrow some snow off so that there's some vents so it doesn't get too cold, doesn't get too hot.
It's not as bad as you were. It's not as bad as you were expecting.
Oh,
it to
sure.
be.
The cold does a lot to help.
Mhm.
And I don't make you work like a full day. We do a couple of hours, make sure everything's good, and
I think at some point you guys realized that Frederico was there at the start.
Does he stealth away with better than a 14 stealth?
Yes.
Damn it.
He used a legendary.
The final boss, El Frederico the Ghost.
He used one of his legendary actions.
Lair
What is it?
actions.
No. It's He used the rogue ability.
disengage.
Reliable
Fine.
talent.
Reliable talent,
Uh-huh.
which you get at rogue level, I don't know, what, like
I think
11?
it's 10.
10, 11? Yeah, he used the level 10 rogue ability to naturally roll a 10, so with his plus 15, he just nopes away. It wasn't actually a stealth roll, it was a mischief roll.
I'm
He only has
celebrating,
one stat.
Mischief.
I'm celebrating the fact that I've gotten probably what I anticipated to be the most difficult person to get to actually pay up on this job. I'm celebrating that in my head. What? Oh. When I turn around and realize that Frederico is gone, I go, God damn it. I've got to go check on the goats.
Yeah. You want to track them or just go directly to the goats?
You know what? There's a fair amount of snow here, and we haven't kicked up too much of it. I am going to give it a shot tracking.
Roll a d4.
Roll a d4.
Likewise?
I just need one of you to roll.
1.
It only takes you an hour
Okay.
to get him back in his pen.
Alright.
Lost
your following privileges,
Actually-
Frederico.
So he had basically just gotten pretty far out of town, sort of to the southeast. He walked, and you guys
Towards the woods.
No, you guys are pretty close to the mansion.
Southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, southwest. That's what I thought.
Southeast is towards the
I didn't
base.
say the right thing, but I thought the right thing, and that's what counts in my head.
And the points don't matter.
Frederico was going the wrong way.
So you guys are near the mansion. There is an off feeling about it.
I feel off.
How strange. So do I.
Oh my god, you guys suck so much.
So do I.
Oh man, there aren't even trains in this world so far, and the train is just so far off the rails.
When you say off, you mean like...
I need both of you
One
to
of those,
roll.
like- Okay.
It feels
Insight?
no.
Okay.
It feels. God damn it! I hate you. I love you, but I hate you.
You started this, Glenn.
You
So
said we were off train. I feel like I jumped on the train.
you certainly jumped on the wagon there.
Jumpers.
Oh god.
Don't
Okay,
be
what?
salty, that'll attract the ghosts too.
Crank.
We feel off.
No,
about
I
being
need
in the
I need
mansion.
people to stop talking so I can reset my brain for a second. Okay. Something feels ominous and so the ruins of this old building seem to sort of like curve in a little bit towards the center and a bit more than you remember them seeming to.
it's roughly visible from the road on the way to town, right?
It's roughly visible from the road on the way to town. And I'm like, honestly, that's where you are when you see it. Is you see it, and it's kind of just off to the side. It's typically hidden by some trees, but there's no leaves, and there's just some piles of snow, and it just seems to kind of like creak and lean in. You can almost hear, like, you can't actually hear the creaking, but you can almost see the sound of it just going, and just kind of pulling in a little bit. I need both of you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
That is actually good. Dirty 20.
Nice.
30, 20.
13.
Alright.
What?
You feel, this is not a compulsion, you feel an incredible desire to go and explore it. It is calling you to come and go look closer.
Okay. We found Federico. He's
Federico is walking towards it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put a hand on his. I'm going to just scoop him up. I like to imagine that these are not like full size goats.
They are full-size goats.
Okay, well, fuck.
You can still try.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm a dex monk.
Okay.
Ashtar
Happen.
could.
Yes.
You can certainly.
He's got the bell.
Or
Just
honey.
gonna
Yes.
grab him by the bell.
And they're, I'm gonna say, well trained enough
Yep.
to come with you when you pull.
Mm-hmm. I'm just
But,
stopping
like,
him.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling, and I go.
That's just the direction he was meandering in, and you guys moving at a pace were able to catch up to him there.
So, one, thanks for helping me track Federico down. I thought that would take a lot longer, and I appreciate the help.
Snow helps. The snow makes it.
The snow helps a lot when you are not trying to trek through it in the dark.
Uphill, both ways.
Yeah, for real. How bored are you today?
Sort of the default state.
Want to go check it out? Alright, we're going.
Are you bringing Federico?
Yeah, because if I let him out of my sight this close to the edge of the village, he is liable to, like, fucking run into the woods.
I grab a hanger rope from my bag and
Easy
Harness.
enough.
A proper lead.
yeah.
Alright.
We can always tie him, like, post him outside. He'll probably
Probably.
eat the rope, but, you know.
So, let's see here.
Yeah, probably.
This is sort of mid-afternoon-ish when you guys start doing this. Honey, what are you up to?
No
Give me a
pet hands at the
second.
table. Sorry.
Here, Grace, how would I trade off with you so you can come in and answer?
Okay,
Finish your
I
tea first.
can give you a minute. Ashkar, what are you up to?
in the middle of, like, about to be done.
Grace, I'll give you a minute. Ashkar, what are you up to?
I'm at the university.
You are at the university. Doing
Well,
anything?
university camp.
Yeah. Doing anything in particular?
Not really.
Anything we want to touch on? Okay. All right.
I know that's very unhelpful to stalling, but I don't have anything.
No, that's fine. All right, honey. So, two people have decided to go and check out the.
I need you to tell me if it leaks at all, because there seems to be a crack on the inside, but I don't feel it.
Okay, cool. We'll do that.
Later.
Are you doing anything in the afternoon?
Honestly, like, I had really just kind of pictured her meditating all day unless somebody came and got me.
It's basically what Ashkar is doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little did you know the plot was big now.
So, the two of you go up to the mansion. It's a fairly large building. It's a little bit smaller than the inn, but it was owned by one family. This is what you guys know about this. It's rumored to be haunted in the same way that, you know, certain things are rumored to be haunted in the real world. You have probably, with your proclivities, have probably figured out, heard some of the more common stories about it, such as the fact that it's a known thing in this town for teenagers to go and try and sneak out here and spend the night in the mansion because it's spooky.
Mm-hmm.
The structure is, as it is now, is mostly stable because the unstable parts of it quickly caved in. After it exploded a little bit. Just a smidge. A strange machine was found in the basement that nobody knows the purpose for, and the last time anybody has really investigated it was a group of teenagers were here. They thought they saw something or something spooky was happening, and they ran in the middle of the night, and
One of them got hurt, right?
one of them
got leg or something.
one of them got hurt. Pretty badly, but not unfixably with the amount of clerics that are in town right now for background
Did
reasons.
they find a body, or am I misremembering?
They found
There
a
was a
body.
body.
They found an old body down in the basement.
They found it. No, they did not find an old body.
Oh,
in the
no,
basement.
sorry,
They
they
found
found
the
the,
body of the son that was thought to kill the other person somewhere fucking across town.
Our characters
Right.
don't know any of this.
We don't know any
You
of
guys
that.
don't know
I
any
do
of
know
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was way early.
Yeah.
The other thing that you guys do remember from session 1 is that there are some rumors about whispers coming from the mansion wanting secrets. Just approach. It's
Yeah.
quiet. It's still sort of creaking in. That, like, it's almost a vertigo thing where you're standing on the edge of the cliff and the voice in the back of your head says, oh, you should jump, but it's like, oh, you should go in.
Have you ever gone to a monument and looked straight up?
Yes.
Is it that kind of vertigo?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's like
Never
a
done
weird.
that.
It's like a weird reverse vertigo where you suddenly feel like the world is doing an
Huh.
acute triangle on you. It's really unnerving.
I do want to stress this is not a compulsion.
No, yeah.
You just
You know,
have
you're
this
telling me.
feeling.
So I'm going to do a circle of the mansion.
Yeah.
I mean, I do want to see if there's any evidence of like the teens that come out here, because if this is a teen sneak out spot, there's definitely got to be like, oh, you have to make it to this point and like camp out here. There's like,
Oh, it's inside the mansion.
oh, I know it's inside, but there's
Um,
probably an access point. There's probably
Front doors.
signs of.
Roll me a survival check.
Yes, I do have a d20 in my hand.
I should like take a look at the building as a whole.
That is going to be a
and
19.
Nice.
like I heard something about it had exploded at one point. Can I try and like get an idea of how that happened? Like if it was like one side, the other, looking into the basement. the
Yeah,
top.
give me a. We're gonna go straight intelligence check on this one.
Okay.
It's not a very high DC.
16 plus straight in.
Is that a
Dirty
16
20.
on the dice?
Indeed, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Towards the back of the house, on sort of like one wing, it appears that it sort of from deep below blew up and out. So the first story was very well built with like stone, and then it was wood going up.
Mhm.
So sort of the back left corner of the mansion, the first floor walls are intact, although they're slightly bowed in that corner. And then the most of the third floor is like
Gone.
from the back of the house. The second floor has only really just that one corner is gone. And then the front, I want to say half diagonally, seems fairly well intact.
Okay.
Although showing signs of age, because this happened, I'm forgetting the number of years ago. I want to say like 40 years, 30, 40 years.
Yeah, 30, 40 years. not that
ago.
long.
Looking at it and then looking around the house, is there evidence of like a debris pattern around it to corroborate it exploded and like kaboom?
None that you can really find, because this happened so long
Sure.
ago, and there's 4 feet of fresh snow.
Sure.
There is not any evidence that you find that people have been here since the snowfall.
Okay.
but you do see some relatively recently cracked branches, and like some of the stuff has like overgrown vines and things have been pulled off one of the two front doors. But there's no sign of people breaking the snowfall. So yes, there's some signs that people were here within the last, I want to say, week or two, but not within the last 3 days. So you're looking at within 3 to 10 days, somebody's been here.
How long do they say this place has been abandoned?
Oh, fuck if I know, but a long ass time. I mean, there were a couple kerfuffles about it recently, I thought.
With your architecture roll, which is the imp check of a dirty 20, you would be able to say, oh, it's been at least like 30, 40 years, and have that locked in.
But I mean, just on the aging of the wood, it's been a few decades.
And being open to the elements, it probably nothing. I'm blank. Mercury is blanking on the word right now. Oh my god, books and stuff probably cloth dissolved. What's the fucking word?
That depends.
Oh.
Certainly any
Decay.
magical ones
Decay.
wouldn't have.
What?
Certainly any magical ones wouldn't have. But,
That's an interesting point.
do I feel like I need to be playing devil's advocate here?
I mean, which side of the coin are you advocating for?
I don't know, which side are you regretting?
That I'm regretting? I have to do something before I regret it.
Fair, but...
I'm interested in books of a variety of natures. And I was just thinking, you know, an old place like this, mysterious machinery, they probably had some sort of technical know-how. You know, there might have been something there.
Door is right there.
You know, if the books are gone, that's one thing. If there are magical books in there, that might be of interest.
Could
Do you have something that Frederico is not going to chew through?
He is already chewing on the rope. He has not started wearing it down yet. No damage has been done.
I think I can manage this. No, I make it a little harness for him, you know, front legs and hind legs. The loop of rope going up over, and I pick him up by the loop of rope and I hang him off a low tree branch, so he's about 2 inches off the snow.
Isn't Frederico like
He's a
massive?
large
Frederico,
mountain
is
goat.
he not a...
Roll me a athletics check.
Give me a hand with this.
Sure.
Roll me
I'll assist.
Roll me an athletics check with advantage.
That is 2 18s.
Nice.
Athletics
All your high rolls
is
for the
a straight 18.
Alright. It is.
It works.
It is an effort. It is an effort. You managed to do it.
It's a goat pinata. But you hit it with a stick.
And line up the staff of meadows. Go, this is for yesterday on the cliff, you slept. No.
And he transforms into his second form.
Baphomet.
I'm gonna make sure that, like, I'll take off one of the pouches off of my belt.
Yeah, make sure he's
Empty
padded
it
and
out.
stuff.
Well, pat him, of course.
Yes.
But I'll empty it out and I'll put, like, I don't know, some munchie types in. I've got some, like, I'll spend a few minutes
I've seen him eat acorns.
gathering
Sorry, not
up
acorns, pine cones.
a few things
does
to
not
stuff
care.
in it and, like, tack it to the tree branch, where to the tree trunk with it next to his head so he can, like, munch.
I'd love it if we came back and instead of Frederico there is a broken tree branch and hoof prints off into the woods. Not to give the DM ideas, but...
Oh, I mean, it's gonna happen anyway, but at least I tried.
No, I wasn't going to do that.
Frederico eaten by Yath?
That's just what I was thinking.
So, shall we?
Indeed.
Alright, I'm gonna take point.
Alright. You clear some snow from in front of the door?
Yeah.
You guys heading in?
Yeah.
And you enter into the front room of what appears to be a grand hall of a large manor. Almost everything in here, it's dark, shadowed. There is what looks to be a once grand rug that has been just worn down into, not nothing, but just worthlessness from use. And looking around, everything you can see is either time worn into like valuelessness or
Mhm.
uselessness or conspicuously absent. The other thing that is very clear as you all look around is that there are just like initials and carvings in the walls of
Mhm.
things with little like dates next to them.
T and R, heart.
More. Some of that more claiming the
They were
day
there.
and time you
Proof that they were there.
the day and time you entered
Mm-hmm.
and when you left. So the whole back of the door
Jack and
Is-
Jarvis were here.
is just carved with
All right, I want to see the scoreboard. Who's got the highest date?
cool. Give me a
Investigation.
quick investigation check.
While he's doing that, I have looked at this and seen that this is the tradition of the town, and can I borrow a knife?
There's like 5 in my hands.
Just take one. And I start carving out T and T and the date.
15.
15? Easy enough. It is, you see the initials Z, J, W, like a bunch of times on here. Most of them are decently older.
What was Jim's first name?
His
Something with a Z.
Yeah.
You heard him called using his full name Zanjum.
Zanjum, that's right.
And then his last name is Wagglebadge. The notable one, so he's spent the night here like at least 7
So
times.
we've confirmed.
The notable one is there is an entry date and an exit date a week later, which is by far the longest time anyone has spent here consecutively.
Final boss Zanjum.
The other
Zanjum.
the other thing of note is that sort of near where the stairs are,
Mm-hmm.
there's a
Up
bit
or
of a
down?
the stairs up.
Mhm.
There's a bit of a hole in the ceiling over in the corner, and it looks like some intrepid person has put like a little flap on it, and there is a clearly defined flat stone that has been placed on part of the wood floors with a ring of stones around it, and somebody has made a little fire pit with a little rope pole to open a vent
That's
out
cool.
of the roof.
I just want to say, as we are exploring, that I'm using the Staff of Meadows to just sort of tap the floor, because we know that there's a basement because somebody fell into it, and so I'm just sort of doing tap tests of the floor.
Mhm.
If I hear something that sounds off or like rotten or soft,
Not in this room.
that's fine. I'm just saying, as we
Got it.
move through, I am doing this.
Heard,
like, to
Noted,
keep it
and not in this room.
Alright.
As we're going through, is there anything of note that we spot that isn't there? Or, like,
Something missing,
yeah.
like key parts of the fireplace or faded wood where there might have been a piece of furniture.
So,
I guess unfaded wood.
first question: where are you exploring in this mansion?
Ground floor to start, I think.
Yeah, there's a main
Cool.
room. Are there rooms off the main room?
There are a set of doors on either side
Mm-hmm.
on this sort of like grand hallway, and then there's what is clearly on one side of the staircase a door leading to another room, and then on the left side of the staircase a small door that is very clearly there, but it is designed to look like part of the wall
Mm-hmm.
in a way that is obvious to anyone who looks at it that, oh, there's the door, oh, that's not a door that we use, that's a servant's door.
Particularly with 30 years of decay.
And particularly with 30 years of decay, where some of the like wallpaper has peeled off, and that's actually kind of towards the side where the little fire pit is. It's behind there, so there's a little bit of like smoke damage on that. Do you guys both have dark vision?
No.
You will need a light If you're going further than
Hooded lantern.
Hooded Lantern, easy enough.
Bullseye lantern.
Right? Half elves have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Okay, I thought that was crazy for a
I
second.
have
On that
bullseye
door-
lantern, do you?
Someone has carved into the
Of course
door,
I do.
unstable floor, do not enter, and somebody has pitoned
Mm-hmm.
that door shut.
This is the servant's door?
This is the servant's door.
Yeah, those are coming out.
Easy enough to do, takes a few minutes.
Are you able to put those back in when we're done?
Probably.
Okay, I just want to make sure
Yes.
no kids are
Probably.
running around in there.
Maybe not in the same spot, but yes, you can.
As
Um,
long as we can close it back up.
You creak open that door, and there is a fairly recently broken chunk of floor immediately past the door, and you can see through into a room that looks like it was once the kitchen and is just a collapsed pile of rubble. You can see some of the, like, you know, a part of the hearth and the bare wall, and you look up and it's just, you know, sky above and, you know, the light coming through,
I see
and
this
there's
is going-
heavy snow.
I assume this is going towards the corner of the house where the explosion was?
Yes. This appears to be a fairly large kitchen, and it's just you
Level.
It's
open
just-
into crater, and it is, you can see little bits of, oh, that looks like servants' rooms, or oh, that looks like it might have been possibly pantry, but it's just because this and all of the house above it.
I'm gonna take one of
Does-
the...
Does the hole in the floor, is that just like, it's just rubble underneath and is therefore not safe?
Oh.
Or can I poke my head down
You
into
can
the
100%
basement?
poke your head down in the basement.
Hey, grab my leg?
Yeah.
I just poke my head down. I just sort of, you know, flat torso down into the basement.
You immediately hear
Very
in your
flat.
head, hi.
Nope! 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 Let's go!
Okay, you have to tell me.
I will! Outside!
Are you here to trade?
Sure.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Outside! Let's
You
go!
so love secrets.
Alrighty then!
Where are you going?
Does it get fainter? I'm moving out.
Yep. Are you just looking? What are
Do
you doing?
I hear anything?
You haven't heard anything.
Cool.
I will
After
tell you
fishing
outside.
you up,
I
I'm
will
gonna
I am
lean
like-
over, not far enough to get my head down, but I want to take a look from this side of the doorway. I want to see if I see any blood markings, because I think this is where the body was found, where it was found falling through. And I want to see if I see any...
The kid fell through and was hurt and
Right.
was recovered.
I thought that was the event
The body
that
was
led to
found.
the
The
final...
body was found in the basement when people went down to get the
Oh.
kid out.
Yeah, exactly. So,
That poor kid.
I just wanted to see if I saw any blood markings there because of it.
This was like 6 months
Okay, cool.
ago,
Then
so not really.
I rolled really well and didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Totally, that's totally
yeah.
what
I
happened.
am gonna
Um,
check.
You rolled really well. You are certain that this is where the kid fell through.
After we get outside, I do want to check with you to see what I saw with my brief once over
Roll me
of that
perception.
space.
Or did you already roll it?
I have not rolled it.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you what you wanted me to roll. That's the time. Appropriate. Given the situation.
Hunks of some sort of metal machinery that are just clearly exploded out and mostly, like, they've been blown free from under where the thing was, and they were embedded into the wall. There's not a lot of room in the initial area that that was there, but there is what looks like a stone door leading deeper into the foundation, back under the main hall. You didn't go into the hole at all, correct?
No, I stayed on this side of the doorway, leaned close enough, not breaking the plane of it,
Sounds
looked
good.
down, didn't see anything, moved
Oh.
back.
As you are leaving
The house.
the house, you hear, I didn't mean to scare you. If you wish to
Speak up.
trade, if you wish to trade in the future, you know where to find me.
We get outside. Is Frederica still there?
No. The knots are untied. The pouch is gone. Not all of them, but like some of them are somehow untied, and you're not
Is there
sure
like
how.
gnaw marks that show he like pulled at it, or
You'd
is
have
it
to roll
just
an investigation.
straight up untied? You know what? That's not what my focus is on right now. Is that a 1?
That was a 7.
That's close.
Yeah, you can't tell.
But with investigation, that's an 11, but still.
I mean, the rope's a little bit damp,
Could be the
but
same.
you're certain that like he didn't have room to reach his.
God damn, Frederico.
Frederico.
Okay. Point of order. And I turn around, I put my hands on your shoulder and look up at you. Point of order. Did you hear anything?
Well, you.
Okay. Excellent. Did you see anything?
Again, you.
Cool.
By the way, nice butt. Just like, do your squats. They're awesome.
I mean, yeah. You need those for the jumps.
Okay.
I can't do the jumps without killer squat. You know,
Yeah.
You need the muscle.
Just want to say, you're doing a good job.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And this is why to leave does
Just like-
things.
Went for your
Over here.
hands.
God damn
just
it.
like hands on your
Mashing
shoulder, like.
your names together.
So no. Back. So you didn't hear or see anything.
No.
Okay. So following up on the train of hearing voices in the woods and then seeing dog faces, you know that rumor that there's a ghost that trades for secrets? I don't think it's just a rumor. The good news is it seems to be, well...
I wanted to roll low, but I rolled a nat 20.
Ah! I don't believe this.
Now
bitch.
your dice are working.
No. I wanted to roll a failure on my wisdom saving throw and go back in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do I still feel not compelled, but encouraged?
No.
Whatever that was has sort of.
You realize that feeling sort of went away as you started looking around, and your natural curiosity for what's going on here sort of just washed that away in the...
Did it feel natural? Or do I retroactively feel as though something has influenced me?
You retroactively... You know what? I think you're not sure. I think you're not sure if something influenced you there, or if you were just like, I wonder what's up with that.
Insight
yeah,
check
I mean,
for
I was
himself.
bored enough to. Yeah, do you want me to insight check?
Yeah,
myself?
insight check yourself. I'll
What
let
do
you
you want
set.
me to
I'll let you set the
roll
DC for
against?
yourself. Roll an insight check. You get to set the DC.
Can I borrow one of your d20s?
Are you rolling off against yourself?
I am rolling off against.
Excellent.
Roderick is going to be my
Your score?
sense of self, and
Okay.
the Thistle dice is going to be Thistle's active sense of self.
Sounds good.
And this is insight, so I'm leaving that flat, and then no, that's not good. Oh, it's a perfect match. 12 and 12.
I think you're unsure, yeah.
You are unsure. I will say that with some
At least I'm right on the fence as opposed to being
With-
like yes or no.
with some soul searching and time over like a short rest, you might be able to figure out an answer for that.
Well, I'm a monk. I'm good at those things.
Exactly. But right now, in this moment, you are not able to tell.
You know who we've had good experience dealing with voices with?
Given that our last experience dealing with voices ended up with me nearly getting killed in a single attack, I'm gonna go with no one.
But you didn't hear it in the main body of the house.
Yes.
I'm just saying, if that there is a ghost down there and it does some spooky ghost shit, I'd rather have one person who is possibly possessed and 3 people who are on the other side of the hole and can just sort of scruff them out.
That's true. I actually thought you were gonna say Jam.
I do want to talk to him because I want to know how he stayed here for a whole week without going...
He did. He did.
He just lied to the thing. He's
I
got
don't
plenty
think
of
he
secrets.
has
no,
the
no, no. He has plenty of
capacity
secrets
to
that
determine
he
between a
100%
lie
exactly.
and fiction.
It wouldn't either. He would believe it so wholeheartedly. I bet he could just lie to the damn thing repeatedly, and it would never. I should probably not be shouting this right outside.
Probably
the
not to be shouting right outside of the thing.
I mean, you guys are at the tree that's like, I want to see 20 feet from the
This
the
was
house.
not quite.
No, you're good.
The snow's probably eating some of the sound, but
Yeah.
he is probably so self-convinced. He probably doesn't need to do anything. He probably just tells it whatever he thinks at the moment, and it just.
Eats it right up. We should go talk to him.
We should go talk to him. We should also go talk to the other two. We had better luck with voices last time. Because think about it. You almost died, but imagine if it had just been the two of us.
I probably wouldn't have been there. Probably would have been messing with somebody. I don't know.
That's true. I can't think of a reason you would wander off into the woods alone with me. I say completely dead alone in the woods with you.
Insight check.
You can make it.
No.
I'm not hiding. I'm deadpanning, but I'm not hiding it.
Mhm.
So,
I
Let's
think
head
at
back
this
to
point,
town.
so it's
are you even gonna bother about Federico?
I will find him in the morning.
I don't.
it's still like mid-afternoon.
I
So
will
wanna
make
say,
one
like,
last bid for him.
It's like 2. You had been in there for like
We had not been in there.
15
minutes,
minutes.
yeah.
He is visibly trotting off in the distance with a decent enough perception check, sort of back towards town, with something in his mouth.
Probably to your bag.
Nah, it's just a belt pouch. I don't care.
You guys are able to catch up with him and get back to it. He has fully eaten your belt pouch by the time you catch up to him.
I'm a rogue. I have a lot of pockets.
I can pay you back for that if you'd like.
That's fair.
Oh, he'll pay me back.
There is
He will.
there is a small scrap of your the end of one of your ropes stuck to one of his horns. And
What are your secrets, Federico?
you're not sure why.
That might be an interesting question.
But he seems
Federico
smug.
can give
He seems smug when you guys corral him back into the goat pen.
Federico's not a real scout. That's my theory now.
He's a druid that's just fucking with the.
Oh no, he's actually an eldritch abomination.
Oh god, you guys gotta stop coming up with really good theories, because now if I use them, then it'll just seem like I just stole your ideas.
The good news is when I'm
Federico
DM,
is a
Federico
goat.
will just show up and. Also. No.
Anyway.
Are you guys going to get the other two?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
Do you want to split up, meet back at the tavern?
Sure.
I'd like to get Ashkar if you don't mind.
I mean, I'd said that in the evening I was gonna head over to the tavern to see if you guys were around anyway.
Spend 3 hours looking for them. Finally give up. Go to the tavern.
So you guys have managed to congregate back at the tavern a little bit before the dinner rush. And
Can we get a quiet table?
you can
Something
yes.
where Thistle's
you can get a quiet
volume
table.
control won't be an
Um,
issue.
Do you guys want to go over what you've just encountered?
Yeah, that's a good place to spend the
Mhm.
last 10 minutes.
So,
How were your days?
Quiet.
Quiet.
Great.
not.
The
See you
goats
after,
get out
Federico.
again.
Well, of course. Of course, he's an abomination. But
He's my
no.
favorite abomination.
He's bad.
There are 3 on the
Very
list
bad.
now.
Keep going.
There are 3 on the list now. There's Federico, there's the Yes, and then there's
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
what?
You said yes.
No, I know.
I know. Sorry, I'm shutting up. Go.
So while we were out looking for Federico, he wandered out to the southwest, sort of along the stretch of road.
By that
leading
creepy
into town.
mansion?
Yes, by
By
that
the
creepy
creepy
mansion.
mansion.
Yes, there's supposed to be some interesting machinery down there.
I got a glimpse of it. I did not stay to investigate because there is a spooky voice that talks to you if you poke your head into the basement. The good news is, it does seem to be limited to the basement because it got quieter as I walked away, which is usually how sound works. so I'm not sure how that affects sound that is in your brain.
And it only
Spoke
perceived you once you stuck your head down there.
It was only able to talk to me. I don't know about perception.
That's fair.
It seemed surprised to see me when I poked my head in, so you might be right. You didn't hear
That's
it,
what
right? Okay. Sorry,
No.
you were saying that.
That's what the air quotes were for.
Gotcha.
Perceive, because I don't know.
There. I figured that the last time I heard any sort of voices in the dark, the four of us were better than just me by myself, even if I gave them a pretty good wallop. Obviously not tonight, because I'm pretty tired of the nightly shenanigans, and this seems like something that would show back up during the day. If you guys would be interested in poking around.
I have nothing else to do.
And I think, wild ass guess, the machine is the thing. That's my bet.
Is your machine is the voice?
Thing. Yeah.
Quick question. Did you carve the time that you left the mansion?
No,
Into
I
the
did
door?
not.
I mean, it is traditional to stay in overnight.
God damn it. Oh my god, I hate that you pointed that out to me.
I love fucking doing this to people while DMing. It's great.
No, that actually grates with my alignment. Thistle is in the middle of talking, then goes, fuck. I forgot to, for
Check
lack of a
out.
better word, sign us out.
That's okay.
What?
There's a
There's a
tradition-
scoreboard.
There's a scoreboard. There's a tradition that, you know,
Guess who has the highest score?
it's a week.
Federico.
No.
I would
Do
be
tell.
impressed
Oh,
but
come
not
on.
surprised if he was able to carve his initials.
Wait, not Jim the Looney.
Of course it's Jim. Of course it's Jim.
That'd be mean.
And
That's fair.
now you said that the voice was asking for secrets. Who do we
had
know
a theory.
who's just great with secrets? How much you want to bet he's had long conversations with that thing?
I would not bet against that. No.
Let's go have a conversation.
After we have the conversation, I might have to just pop back over there.
You can do it
No.
in the morning when we return.
I do think that's wise. Just saying.
You're
Given what
literally
happened the last-
concerned about not getting attacked, so you want to go with a group of people at a later date. You can retroactively add the date.
As long as you are honest, it's all good.
When did we leave?
About 15 minutes after we entered.
I will also
Don't
say
let me forget.
the last time we went out into the dark, it did not go so well for all of us. So
I agree with that.
You're
I'm
telling me.
a little rankled by it.
So I will state that the initials, almost all of the dates for the initials with ZJW are at least 10 to 15 years old.
Sure.
That was a long time though.
They do.
How old is it? Hey.
Yeah.
Because I got a feeling of like middle-aged off of him, right?
young
Aging is
middle-aged.
He's-
weird in
he's-
gnomes.
That's fair.
He is roughly the equivalent of like you get the vibe of anywhere from like gnome equivalent of a 30-year-old human who just does not have his life together to like an 18-year-old who seems a little bit older than he should be, but it's still just like not like has done more than most.
He's college
18
student age.
He's college student acting.
Whether or not he's
Oh,
actually
is he that
aged
30-year-old
it.
who lives in a college town and he's like, yeah, keg stands, and everybody else is like, dude, you're 30.
Okay.
It's you actually can't pin that down.
That's fair.
And have not asked anybody how old he is. So
Would it be fair to say that whether or not that's the age, that's the vibe?
that's the vibe. I don't remember exactly the gnome lifespan, so I can't give you a pinpoint
It's like 2
thing. But I
years.
think it's like he's in the like 50 to 60 range
Okay.
ish, depending.
Which in gnome world is like 30.
Which in gnome world, but I don't want to be held to that because
That's fair.
Mhm.
Because it was a Tuesday.
it
and
was
everything
Tuesday.
is made up.
And on that note,
Hold on, can I?
oh yes, you can.
I want to drop a thing. If we want to go have a conversation with him, I would suspect that there's something going on at Susie's cottage tonight.
Where?
I was hoping that would be the mic drop.
No, with that, we're gonna with where we are gonna end our session. Thank you again for watching our stream. You know, if you enjoyed it, we'd love it if you would help let your friends and family know about our show. We enjoy putting it on, and we hope you all enjoy watching it. And we will see you all back in 2 weeks.
That is the
on
30th, yes.
No, it'd be the 29th, right?
No, the 29th.
29th.
It is the
14
29th.
plus
It is the
15.
29th.
We will see you back on the 29th
We're very good at
of
math.
March for our next episode. And, you know, I guess it was Tuesday. Jesus.